And howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Time, our original Starfinder game. Mosaic Time. It's our original Starfinder game. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening, and most and joining me are my friends
Mosaic Time!
Matt, Dan, Kara, and Olive. We are one more week without Ari, but hopefully we'll have her back next week. We miss you, Ari. We are celebrating Pride this week. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna wear mine tomorrow. That's my Friday Pride shirt. But we have.
I can't find my Shrek shorts.
We are celebrating Pride this week because it is Pride Month. And so you can see a variety of Pride-related things. There'll also be some Pride happening tomorrow night during our D&D game, which is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We played part of a series of games that was run by Kara this Sunday. It was fantastic. Both me and Matt were there. Hannah and Vincent were also there, who played with us on
I was there, but I didn't play.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Matt was just kind of there.
I showed up with lunch.
No, it was fantastic.
It's great.
But it was, it's a fantastic game. You'll get to hear a little bit more about it as we get closer to June, when it will air on this channel, in place of these sessions, actually, when we're on vacation at the end of July, beginning of August. And we also have a YouTube at Elbron RPG where you can find all the old sessions from previous weeks. Just previously, counted up this week all the old sessions that we'd run. It's something like 416 of them. So yeah, it's a lot. So that's all on YouTube. It's all free. It's all there forever. You can also find us on Instagram at Elbron RPG, where you can see close-ups of all the different things that are happening. Right there, that's our table. Oh, look at that! It's a dice. But there's what?
Not to scale.
Yeah, that's not to scale. That's also a very large dice. You need like a regular. There you go, right there. So you can see the the ordering of dice right there. There's pictures that you can see at Elbron RPG in much greater detail. And then tomorrow, like I said before, we're going to do D&D. That's all the announcements that I have for this evening. And so we can jump right to this week's session of Mosaic Team 5. Mosaic Team 5. I don't know if that got caught, but I really Mosaic Team 5, last that we played, you began in the midst of combat with the deadly Jimmy 12 Toes, who had just annihilated a building with the artillery laser in their chest. Shade, you accelerated towards this massive Geistwork armor-powered individual to engage in the close combat that Bubbles was shying away from at this very time, uncharacteristically skulking into the ruins of a building to hide amongst the debris.
Against the Genesis, no less.
Spice, you attempted to jolting surge Jimmy to very little effect, and Jimmy saw a chance to get revenge, telling Bubbles that he would take from Bubbles what he had taken from Jimmy. Hearing this, Spice, you fled into a bachelorette party that was about to take a bloody turn. Echo, you sped around the other side to unload trick attacks into Jimmy's back. Jimmy destroyed the bar with the bachelorette party within, killing the bride, but sparing Spice, who, along with the other attendees, managed to escape in acrobatic form. You all poured in massive damage, but it was Shade ultimately who used their carbon blade to get the finishing blow, though Jimmy 12 Toes roared that this wasn't all of him. Spice, diving onto that, sawed off one of his legs and found only mechanical components, but as more people began to approach, could not pierce the carapace of the second leg, and so you were all forced to retreat, unsure of what might have been within that very broad boot. But with Cindy in tow, you made your way back to the landing bay and decided what to do next. After some arguing, it was loosely decided that the androids would bring Cindy to the director's cryo chamber on Garachi to await transport to the Mosaic Vivarium. As this conclusion was reached, it was a knock on the otherwise hidden base of operations, and after a little bit of hesitation, and after hearing a tiny voice of a skittermander mention that they were friends with Shade, you let them in. This turned out to be Glipo, a skittermander who appeared to be just another Whimsam employee, but ultimately turned out to be the USR source of information aboard the Zin Crawler that they were burning to give you a little bit more access into the various background channels through, to perhaps keep yourselves off of the main streets, as you had drawn more attention than your undercover mission had perhaps warranted.
Oh, what? Not
I know.
us.
Wow. So out of character. I mean, who could possibly know because you're so undercover?
Wow.
So
deep.
you
Cover we don't even know.
did Glipo do after he filled you on quite a bit of intel. He told you a little bit about some of the important players aboard the Zin Crawler, especially lately. They intimated to you, Echo, that unlike what you had previously been aware of, William the Pleaser perhaps not a part of the Carbon Cartel, or perhaps in some way standing slightly adjacent to them, or something happening within the bar at the end of everything. You found a bunch of different things, but as he left, you all turned your attention towards the issue of Cindy, who lay within containment currently, but who threatened to overwhelm the very basic chamber that you had created and required further containment aboard the director in the cryo chamber. As you, Bubbles, began to talk to Spice about this individual who may or may not have something to do with Spice's past, and you had thoughts about whether or not it was time to share this, there was a voice that intruded into your mind and told you that it was maybe not the best time. You had just started creating your family, and you would perhaps risk losing it if you were to tell the truth. And so you held that truth back, at least for a little bit.
Damn.
Now, when we last left off, you had another opportunity for a bit of information, and I'm trying to remember who it was it was Shade who had that initial option. And when you had resisted at first, remind me again, because in my notes I have Shade.
For the mental probe,
Yeah,
Yeah, that was it.
that was initially Echo.
gotcha.
And then Squeak came out, and that was where we left off.
Excellent. Give me just 1 second. That is where it begins. Feedback.
Squeak got super weird at the end of last episode.
As if he's being...
Boy, what's wrong with you? What have you been doing while you've been in this ship? By yourself?
Looking at a lot of porn.
Probably doggy style.
Boring.
Of all the things that this dog could be doing, it was very much just a dog, as far as all of you could tell and have put at least a little bit of thought into. But yeah, definitely watch tons of porn.
Wow. Yeah.
I say, Squeak, you don't do that. Bad boy.
So interestingly, one thing that I had forgotten, I had gone back and looked at this. Shade, you had upgraded the anti-hacking countermeasures
Yes.
21 sessions ago.
Yes.
So give me 1 second here.
Someone tried to hack. Or is trying to hack.
They're in Squeak!
So you see on Squeak's little mechanical apparatus that is around their body, kind of wrapped. No, so this is like the mechanic outfit.
Oh, okay.
And you have not done a whole lot of kind of investigation or digging about the outfit. You guys said, this looks cute, and that was kind of all that was left. But you see for just a moment above the very back of where these kind of goggles would go on that look like flight goggles, there is a little... And you could see Squeak's eyes kind of glaze over one more time, and then he just blinks. And you just hear... "Huh?"
What?
Someone just tried to hack into Squeak.
Make an engineering check, but take a -6 conditional modifier.
Oh, that's still really good.
Is anybody else doing anything?
It's just
just
Echo,
Echo,
and
yeah.
Shade. Echo just kind of like. Do dogs normally do
So,
such things?
40 minus 6, 34.
34. With a 34, there's two things that come to mind. First of all, something seemed to be interfering with Squeak in a similar way to how you had this very root access kind of imposed upon you when you had been trying to look through other people's communications. Because Squeak is a little bit simpler than a Android or a high-tech computer, it seems as if the root access, as long as it is something within Squeak, can certainly interface with them in a more like behavioral way. For you got messages, you were able to kind of communicate. For Squeak, it was able to sort of control them briefly. But whatever it was, and Squeak rolled a natural 20 for whatever it's worth.
Whoa, okay.
It seems as if your countermeasures at this new level were high enough to at least give him a chance. But Squeak stands now on the door, and you can see the confusion sort of washes over him briefly, and then the tail starts to wag slowly at first, but then, oof, and he starts to go off the rip.
Like off the ship?
Yeah, towards you guys, because he's excited to see you.
Going to meet up with Squeak, I think, right? I mean,
I'm gonna stay next to the bucket of oil that's containing Cindy.
Okay.
I would, Squeak comes to me.
Sure, yeah. He runs up to you and just jumps up as much as he can. You can see whatever look he had before, it's just Squeak now. There is a little tiny, you can see like behind these little goggles where there is a strap kind of attached. There are like little mechanical devices that attach to this little jacket and everything. And at first you had seen Squeak bark and the goggles come down. They never fall off. And that's kind of what you had assumed all this was for. But there was some element of machinery that was there, certainly.
Still is there, but just not active the way that it was.
With your check, as you get close, there is elements of silicone and silver and gold that tell you microchips, but whatever it was just burnt out. And there is just blackened elements around the otherwise sort of orange band that holds these goggles together.
So someone physically put something on Squeak. It wasn't that someone just wirelessly tried to hack in. I want to ask the director, but I'm trying to figure out what I need to ask, basically. Like, does it seem like someone has wirelessly hacked into something that Squeak already had in his possession, or
so
was it something that like
somebody tried to hack into Squeak, and because Squeak was in proximity to the director, benefited from their countermeasures?
Gotcha.
Squeak would not have stood a chance on his own.
Okay. Then I would say to the director, scan for any signs of hacking activity still within the area.
There was a powerful wireless signal, and on your communicator you get a little blip, and you can see almost like arcs. There would be several that get wider as they get to you, but as you zoom out, I would say not like a explicit map, but sort of in the same way that Echo created this sort of footprint map, you have a rough sort of trajectory of where you've been, and you can see that as it gets further away from where you are in the direction of the spine, it gets a little tighter, and it seems to come from close to the landing area of where a lot of the ships will come in and out. In a direction of the shipyard is in, perhaps.
So, around where I got hacked into?
Yeah.
Okay, so likely similar or the same, like, source. Or, like, from that.
That would be a good conclusion.
Okay.
You make one more engineering check.
I think, isn't it Cindy trying to like talk
That's what I
through the
thought,
fucking
but
thing?
No, I think it's the person that hacked into me when I was trying to listen in on the other group.
Oh.
That's a 30. Sorry, that's a 34.
Oh, so close. Whatever it was to get from there to here, especially considering within the station itself, it's not designed for like good wireless connectivity. It's a jagged structure of like twisting metal and other pieces that have been soldered together over time. So to penetrate that far, powerful signal.
Right.
And that's
we're on Garachi, so we're like even further.
Yeah. And to that point, 34.
Period.
Is Squeak all right?
Squeak is all right. Someone attempted to hack into the systems, however. The director was able to activate countermeasures, but there's still concerning presence.
Residuals aboard the ship.
I suspect that it's the same group or entity that contacted me when we were in the bar.
Director,
Yes, Echo.
Are you able to trace the signal back to its point of origin?
And so, like, Shade sends you over this thing,
yeah.
and the director would explain to you, as the signal gets further away, it is harder to be more precise with the direction or the triangulation. That's the word I'm looking for. However, and you get like a rough pie shape based on where you are. Because you are off the actual crawler, it's like most of the aft section of the crawler, but you get the sense that it's not coming from quote unquote like what the head would be, and so not the diamond deck. You would imagine probably not Warvok Shoran either, somewhere within literally any of the other sections pretty much.
That's quite an expanse. Was there anything notable about the signal itself?
Given the strength and capabilities of whoever attempted to hack, it is very likely that they have at least similar capabilities to the person who was keeping tabs on us.
The signals were across a wide band, which indicates that this could be used to multiple sources at once.
Someone is aware of our presence on the Zin crawler. It may...
Kara is a little confused. Multiple sources, as in, like, it's just scanning, like, doing a wide breadth scan?
Or more like it's
Looking
a
for
VPN
some person, or, like...
sending out dummy signals or something.
Make a, so I would say more like this may not be one powerful signal. It may be multiple things or relays or sources that have been used together in unison to get this to where it needs to be.
Oh, so things
So
have to like band
satellite
together.
system.
Almost.
Like,
Yeah, maybe an array of some kind of a communication network.
A sensor array, maybe. Sorry, I got scared because I heard things moving behind Joe's screen.
The real monster.
Dice.
hear that occasionally.
I
Yeah, I
have
don't
a
like
real
that.
killer robot back there. It's going to be a real
it's
fight.
good. I'm not prepared to battle that.
LARPing.
I'm ready.
I'm too low level. Interesting. These people who are keeping tabs on us, who do you suppose it is? Do you suppose it is the proprietor of the bar? Is that what you are saying?
Either that or a group in charge of security.
I do not know which security to which you are referring, but the signal did not originate from Warvok Shorn, as far as we can tell, which is where the shipyard of Sin is located.
Sorry, I'm going through my notes.
This is also something that we could potentially investigate later. We do have a more explosive matter to deal with.
I agree. It is important that we are aware of the situation, but Cindy and the tournament are more pressing. I just hope that this does not affect either of those.
I have to look at my notes to
No
figure-
worries. So you guys are there.
Yeah.
You're within the director. If you want, you can take this containment cell and you can bring it to the cryo chamber. At the moment, there's a couple things within the cryo chamber. There is a sort of dilapidated looking, it almost looks like a body has melted, but it's really just a spacesuit that has...
I was in the process of trying to figure out how we could get Cindy into the cryo chamber without burning her.
Gotcha.
That's what I was doing.
Gotcha.
And then Squeak happened.
Make a life sciences check.
Cindy dies.
Probs won't be here for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a total of 17, boss.
Oh,
17.
brother, yikes.
I mean, you could probably just freeze them. I would say you probably just want to open so that the oil doesn't like rupture and can destroy the containment unit. But you could probably just freeze the oil too.
No, I do remember I can't do that. They freeze at different
Freeze the
rates.
oil.
They do. They certainly do.
We went over that.
Does oil freeze?
Yeah, everything freezes at a certain temperature.
Just at a more volatile temperature than the things that are around it,
Okay.
to the point that it would cause some huge pressure differences that would probably
Oh.
I am
squish.
afraid I have reached my limit as far as my knowledge. I do not know how to freeze Cindy without removing her from the oil.
Is this something that I can work on, making it so that it's not going to immediately kill Cindy and will actually contain her safely?
Yeah, I would say if you want, that'd probably add another hour. I would say you can make an engineering check, and it would take between 1 and 3 hours, depending on the roll.
Okay.
But 3 hours is adding another 50% of time onto what you're budgeting so far.
Could
For what it's
Echo
worth.
assist by providing a secondary pair of hands and silence?
You certainly can. I would
Oh
say
my
go ahead and
God.
take a +8 conditional modifier.
Yeah,
'Cause
silence.
you're getting the
for
tools that you
once?
need. Yeah, the
Oh my
tools and the
God.
working conditions that you need.
Rare.
Nice. +8.
Yeah,
That was a 48.
I mean that's
Ooh.
pretty
Shit,
good.
that might have been the highest roll we've ever seen in this game.
So you figure out a couple of things. First of all, yes, absolutely. If you freeze all this at once, ultimately you're going to freeze Emma so thoroughly that it will be explosive almost in the results. So the oil and everything, will look like a just kind of block, but as you thaw it out, it will almost appear as if somebody is squeezing like a pinkish toothpaste out through the top. And that will not be good for recovering like a viable living specimen. And so you do at some point need to remove them from the oil to get them frozen down. That does mean that there's going to be a period of time in which it would be especially dangerous. And then it strikes you, and part of it is that you've seen this happen many times. If you could remove the oxygen, you would get rid of that problem temporarily. It would need to be done very quickly, but in the absence of oxygen, there will not be that explosive danger.
So basically, we have to create a vacuum within the ship to transfer Cindy over safely.
With your role, you recognize that you could relocate the cryo chamber to your airlock and use that in an effective way.
Okay.
And with that role, I would say you could do that in an hour.
Cool.
Now, if you need to use your airlock to get something out, and you've used your airlock to put out fires, you've used your airlock to contain biological specimens, so that will no longer be an option for you. Just something to keep in mind.
Is it something where,
Well, it will be an option, but then Emma will go flying
does
into
the
space.
Unless you
transfer
bolt
have
it
to
down.
happen in the airlock and then we can move it back once she's securely in the cryo chamber?
Yes, but you're adding more time on.
Right. But it's sort of like, do we take the time now or do we...
You just bolt it
Yeah,
down.
that's the question. That's really the question. So it's up to you.
What do you think?
Well, I would most prefer if when we reached the vivarium, we did not have to worry about an explosive transfer.
And somewhere on the ship, a clock does go off, perhaps one that Bubble set somewhere. It's 7 a.m. And so, you guys have the rest of the day, but tonight you're going to get an offer, and tomorrow lockout starts.
We should be quick about it, though.
Agreed. I'm gonna open the thing for Cindy.
Okay.
Cindy, we are ready to transfer you to the cryo chamber. There will be a level of discomfort, but you should be safe for a while.
You will need to hold your breath.
There's a nod within the oil, and you recognize she's been submerged in oil for most of this time. She could probably hold her breath either indefinitely or at least for
10 minutes.
I mean, hours at least, because
She's breathing oxygen through the oil. She's got gills.
yeah, she's got oil gills. That's what it is. You got it.
Dope. Does that mean I have?
No.
you just have regular
try.
ass skills.
Ooh, ass gills.
Gross.
Yeah, that's not a good. That's not a good place for gills.
I breathe through
Hard
my
to keep clean.
ass.
Hard to keep clean. Anyways, I'm looking over there. You
There.
with that check, no problem. You can take the cryo chamber apart. You can remove what you have within and set it up in such a way that you are not going to damage any of these components. You do recognize that the biological
The mass.
So as you go through,
The biomass of gross.
point of order, Gibbs has also stored some things here that maybe Gibbs has not been super forthcoming about. So there is some food that has been stored here. Over time, some half-eaten like meat items have been left behind the element of body, and so like there is a little stash that you do have to clear away as well.
But
with
it's
that
all
check, no
frozen,
problem.
so it's not like it's gotten worse than it was when it went in.
No, but
It will
But
be
it's
when
gross.
correct.
Right.
It's a later problem.
Echo just like
Can we just,
sweeps
like,
it out the
throw
door
it-
onto
yeah,
the
I was gonna
frozen
say, can we
planet.
just like leave it on the frozen planet of
problem.
Garachi?
You crack open the door and just kick it right out.
Wait, we have to leave it better than we found it. That's the rules of
We will pick
camping.
it up when we come back.
You can see the trash just into this black planet, and there is just like the ice is black, the water is black. In the distance, the lone like kind of cracking bit of like vegetation that you could see against the gray sky is black. So it's like I mean, disappears.
All right, fair enough. Problem solved, right?
You immediately like I gotta take out my mechanical like my magnetic screw keeper tracker thing because if you drop something here, it's gone. But yeah, no problem. You sweep out trash onto this planet. And if you want, you can start your way back within the shuttle I believe you took here. Or no, sorry, you took both of your ships.
Yeah, we took the two of our ships. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else. I would say to
Once
the
Cindy
director,
Lou is all bolted in and secure.
Yes.
director, take logs of any more attempts for hacking.
Very well.
Communication will be limited given the capability of interception, but if anything warrants it, let us know.
I can reach you if necessary.
Very good. And then we leave.
You take off, flying into space, maximum speed, drift drive to the station.
Maximum warp.
Make a perception check, both of you, as you arrive.
Because we arrived.
You can cross the expanse with no issue. It's relatively quiet. It's early in the morning, even at station time, and typically if there is going to be any kind of food shipment or things like that, it will come in right around noon.
21.
21,
22.
22. So the 21 and the 22, there are a few more ships that have kind of arrived, and as you make your way past the spine where most people land, you would see that there are fewer kind of places available. You had previously found places where like 2 or 3 of you could park at once. That is no longer the case. You would have all had to park separately had you not found a place to universally store your craft. But no problem. You make your way back. You swear there is some kind of a really sleek looking ship on the ground, but you lose sight of it really quickly as you pass over. And so you don't get a great look at it, and you could take another look, but as you pass every time, it would really draw a lot more attention. And so if you don't, you make your way back. While they're gone, Bubbles and Spice, I almost hesitate to ask, but is there anything that you're doing?
I mean, we're like
Fucking
normal.
duh.
I had to sleep. Bubs has to sleep.
No problem. Ooh. So you sleep. No worries.
I like to imagine I'm in the crate, how Spice is sleeping.
Okay.
Because I remember you described it like this.
Tucked into the narcotics.
Yeah, I've got like little baggies and bricks all around me.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm
There's paper
sleeping.
towels, I think, like right over there.
Yeah,
So
but my hand is a can cap right now. And
pressure.
A lot of pressure.
All right, so I can go off about all the sexual deviance that we encountered.
Echo
No.
would have lent the relax you to Shade for the flight back so that there could be healing done to Shade.
Okay,
as
that
well.
makes sense, I think. Yeah, I think definitely
Echo recharged it while on the director.
that was smart, actually. Very smart. So you make your way back without any problems. Shade, like, it comes in, and then briefly, the elements of rations that they have pop and begin to overflow, and so they need to go and take care of that real quick. But for the rest of you, you're all within the landing bay, and it is, like, roughly around 8 a.m. I would say, Bubbles and Spice, you would need to sleep, given when you guys went to bed.
Weren't we supposed to get an offer though? To
Yeah, later.
And yeah, so
Tonight?
it's
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
'cause
like
it's
7,
12
it's
right,
7 a.m.
okay.
right now. You guys probably are sleeping in until like 10 a.m.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, actually, You guys get back right around the time that Bubbles and Spice wake up. It works out very nicely. Probably about 20 minutes after they wake up, just because you guys took that little extra time. So as you all get up, it is the morning of 4/25/50. This is a Thursday.
Okay. So I long rested, right?
Correct.
Okay.
We did not.
You guys did
But
not.
Gotta
you-
relax you.
You got to relax you. And so you have to let them know how much that heals. 'Cause I don't
Does
remember off
relax
the top of my
yous heal hit points?
head. It does. Yeah.
Relax yous are
It's-
so good.
It's
Doesn't
one
matter.
of the great.
I don't need it.
So one thing
Oh,
that's
you're
really.
I
Heals
need
by
it.
full
Holy
HP,
fuck.
I have
Hand me that fucking relax you.
You
You have a lot
were
of SP.
you were.
I have a
taught-
lot of SP, not a lot of HP.
So as the morning kind of rises, and all of you either arrive back from your night of transporting Emma, or wake up from your night of sleeping within narcotics.
Can I?
Nice. Oh yeah, that's the second. Yeah.
Oh. Can I look around to see if anybody visited us while we were asleep?
Make a perception check.
I assume. Well, if Gibbs was on duty, I assume she fell asleep. Oh, nice. Okay. You said perception?
Mhm.
33.
33. The first thing that you notice as you wake up is you look up. You get to the place where if you look up, you can see all three levels kind of at once.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see sitting on the top, still very much awake, is Gibbs. They have their binoculars up and they're like searching like 360. It
All
doesn't,
right, girl.
it doesn't really help in terms of like searching here, but that's pretty typical for how these
You
work.
get +6 to perception or something like that, so it helps.
It's +1.
Oh, is it?
Very
Pretty-
generous.
the very
Okay.
the first yeah, because the first one was literally just bottles, but it's,
Okay.
they're actual binoculars now. But the position itself was not super helpful. They're looking at the door if somebody were to come in there, and nobody seems to have.
Babe, what are you doing? Go back to sleep. I'm trying to sleep.
She like uses, you know, when there's two people in a bed in a cramped, because we're both in a crate.
It's
So-
not a bed, yeah.
Spice is going to just push down anywhere, like with her hands, like onto like Bubbles' chest and like sit up. Be like, I need coffee.
Babe,
Oh, is that Echo and Shade? Did you guys bring back coffee? And you see your hair's all messed up. Oh wait, there's Coke like around us, right?
So, no, it's Tetra Sticks, which is essentially like a THC vaporized product. It's not cocaine.
Okay, she
It's-
flicks the cap off of one of those.
No problem.
babe, how did you go from coffee to taking drugs from a crate?
Those drugs are more valuable
progression.
for currency.
You also think.
We also have less than a day before the tournament.
And
Make
that
a
is not
fortitude
stereo-
saving.
Oh shit. Okay, whoops. I thought this was for fun.
That will relax you, not make you more alert.
That's good though.
Someone needs to relax you.
Fortitude? Oh, that is a 17.
17. Okay.
Wait,
So
what?
as you pop off the little cap of this thing and you take a big puff, you can feel it warm up in your hand. It's like this little bit of plastic, and within there's probably some kind of a ceramic core that is heating up and almost unpleasant immediately to your lips.
Okay.
The taste is a little bit like a pixie stick if it got hot, and so also not
Delicious.
I mean, if you say so. Almost immediately, you feel this warmth kind of flush into your chest and neck and cheeks, and it feels like confidence almost.
Okay.
And you relax a little bit, and for the moment, you feel as if you have a +2 bonus to charisma-based skill checks for the next hour.
Oh my god. Yo, these diplomacy checks are gonna be undefeated.
And you can add a Tetra stick to your inventory.
Dope, okay.
Can we learn about the side effects?
Doesn't matter. That's not an issue.
You don't even think about it. You put
No,
this in your
yeah.
pocket, and you get a sense that there's a side effect almost certainly associated with the fact that you didn't even think about it. It just went right in there.
So she exhales and it like stinks like candy strawberry. And the cloud is huge and annoying.
Bubba's gonna like try to like swish away the cloud with his hands. Babe, are you okay to like, focus?
Honey, I've never felt better.
Okay, so how did things work out with Cindy? Is that okay, guys?
Cindy will be okay as long as nothing unexpected happens. And we are efficient in our mission.
Well, that's good to hear. So what are we planning next then? What's...
We do have some information about our first course. And Echo debriefs them on everything related to the race course.
Okay.
Which
course did you get? Sorry.
We got the Colossal Vest Carrier, largest ship that we've ever seen, a large dreadnought class, die tomorrow. The fresh metal panels along the gun decks, likely proximity-launched munitions. Dull beacons indicate the race path. Recorded footage on the exocortex, so I play that back.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you got a whole bunch of information from your USR
and the power
contact.
fluctuations for a missile launcher and rail cannon.
That would indicate that perhaps there's something like that, yeah. You learned a whole bunch of information about this potential arena. You learned a little bit about the fact that there is... From your USR contact, you learned that potentially if you were to not sign or agree to this deal that you're going to get tonight, there might be some other things within, and perhaps those power fluctuations that would indicate a rail cannon or a missile launcher will not become active should you agree to this, and might target ships that don't agree. But Shade and Echo fill you in on all of that.
I'm also going to say, additionally, there is a group of hackers, or a hacker, who is aware of our presence. They've attempted to contact me twice. Well, attempted once, and attempted to hack into the director by way of Squeak.
Spooky.
Important that you know, because there are people who are already aware of our presence, regardless of our disguises.
This happens every time. God.
As of now, we don't know if they are hostile towards us. It appears neutral, but they have been probing, and that is cause for concern. We also have a very limited time schedule before the first day of the tournament.
Okay, so about the tournament, are we gonna throw the game and accept the deal, or are we going to accept the rail cannons?
Either way, we need to get to the party. We need to get close to Hardcore Henry in order to accomplish our mission.
But we can do that regardless of whether we throw the game or not, right?
No, we cannot.
And we made a
If we
deal.
throw the game, we do not go to the party.
And we made a deal with the Flying Fangs, the Yusoki crew, about possibly some kind of collusion.
That is a backup alternative.
So we're not gonna accept it, and I'm gonna get a rail cannon to my face.
Yes.
Which is why the next 24 hours is extremely vital. I cannot train you to pilot these crafts. There are still modifications that need to be made in order for them to stand a chance against our opponents.
Okay, so let's...
You need to work as a team on your flying. Understand the game that we're playing. Understand how Lockout works.
I'm pretty sure I beat you last time. I'm pretty sure you're the one who flipped out last time we played Lockout.
That was an entirely different game.
It was
This is
literally
much
the
more
same
hard.
game.
It is not.
Okay.
That will be your first mistake and your last.
Okay, sir.
Lockout on the Zing Crawler is very different from Lockout on Oris Bay.
I get it, hon.
I don't
Relax.
think you do.
Babe, come on, listen to Shade.
Well, okay, just tell... We're not gonna throw the game. I'm gonna pilot my fucking ship. I'm not gonna have any of the fun guns and shit, so you guys have to hold that up.
We do have more.
Okay.
Can
Order
you tell me
many.
what the scoring is for
Nope.
Zin Lockout?
I cannot. I am gonna try to make a lap around it as best I can and try not to die.
That is
That
a good
is a
start.
solid plan.
Thank you. I thought so too.
We might also want to come up with a game strategy related to what we install around our ships.
For me, if I'm not gonna have any of the guns and shit or any of the defenses, I am just gonna try to fucking stay alive, okay? I'll provide support where I can, but I'm
are a
trying not to go
fantastic
down.
Support ship, Spice.
Thank you, Echo. See, somebody fucking sees me, thank God.
You will be most valuable as support and speed.
Thank you. I will be speedy then.
You also have telekinesis.
Yeah, but the range is not as far as you'd think.
But we are going up against a team that prioritizes close combat encounters.
Amazing. I'll bust their brains out.
It will be beneficial to be able to disorient their pilots if they get within range.
Say no more.
Shade is like, I'm going to throw him off and making him dizzy. Spice is like, I'm going to blow their fucking heads off.
I do have some close combat defenses and weapons that I ordered that would be useful on ships that feel they are not well protected.
Oh,
Do we
that's
have a
me.
list of all the stuff?
I
'Cause I'm
do.
gonna-
Oh, Echo, lay it on me, hun.
We have grinding gears, a light blade hull, data links, a focus fire algorithm, which will be particularly useful for bubbles, CI baffle, and light plasma torpedo pods.
Okay,
It's a big one.
so what we should do is
Also, junk cannon.
we
It is already installed on one of the ships.
that's on Gibbs' ship, isn't it?
Yeah, but she's not here.
I just hijacked Gibbs' ship.
Well, there's other stuff.
Okay, so can we go over who's in what ship
Squeak
and
is gonna
what
do
ship
Gibbs'
has
ship
what?
for the first race.
I don't care what you guys have. I just need to keep track of what I have.
Initially, all of the ships have the same flight capabilities. So what our ships have installed on them will depend on how we want to pilot.
One thing I'll say, just in case this impacts your decisions in terms of this, because Ari/Gibbs is not here, probably what will happen at the beginning of the first lockout race, should we get there, is Gibbs and one other person from the other team will engage in a dogfight off in the distance.
Oh,
Make
cute.
it
Love that.
Even and still, a little more accessible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cute.
So just, if don't put all your stuff on Gibbs' ship and then Gibbs just
Give her the real laser and all the highest
that-
shields we
I just
have.
don't want that to happen because that would be really. I would feel bad.
If it is a suboptimal combo, we can always make adjustments in between races.
Don't we only have one chance?
It is a bracket style tournament. If we make it past this one. If we survive this one.
Oh shit. Okay.
So in theory, you're facing this team, and then the next day, and that's an important thing to think about. You have a day turnaround, so part of your strategy should really be to think about, what is fixable in a day.
Right.
What is the damage threshold that you really want to allow? Because at a certain point, kind of similar to what Gibbs is going to do at the start, you could just peel your ship off and preserve your systems and health for the next day. If one of your ships gets destroyed, that's going to put you in a rough spot. If one of you dies, that puts you a pilot down. And so just all things to keep in mind in terms of your overall strategy.
And also, we can tune our strategy to other teams who are facing against weaknesses and
If
stuff.
As long as you know about them.
So I'm trying to remember who. I think it was Shade or Echo who did research on the mechanic. I believe his called was the mechanic, and he had the robotic arm on his ship.
There are
I can't find that in my notes.
So you
They
had
have
heard a bunch about.
grapplers, buzzsaw arm, and a harpoon style grappler ship. They're gray ships with green lines through more Zipsy Industry Lamenter class warships, slower than our interceptors but with more heavy armor. They have a buzzsaw arm on one, and they have harpoons to fire at us on another, so that they can basically hook
Drag
us,
you in.
pull
Okay.
us in, and then chop
Our
us
main
apart.
focus should be on speed.
Yes, I agree. I think even though if I have nothing on my ship, I should avoid getting harpooned or.
We should all avoid getting harpooned.
Well, what I'm saying is I'm not going to attack the ships, right? So I am going to spend all of my energy in defense mode and swing wide. So it's not going to be the fastest, but it will be the defense so I don't get hit.
Bubbles is our attack ship.
Yeah, I can do that.
It's like a hockey strategy.
It is. We have 2 attack vessels, 1 support vessel, and 2 lead vessels.
Oh, so I'm the support vessel? But that would
Unless
mean
you
I would
really-
need defense.
Support does not necessarily mean defensive vessel.
Oh.
The attack vessels will be the ships with the most defense and offense capabilities, so that they can withstand long combats and draw attention.
So maybe is that a better spot for me? Because I haven't been a pilot for many years. I'm gonna put that on the table. As long as I was in the GPF, I used to be a pilot, but it's been a long time, hun.
You
So
think back to when Spice was trying to get the ship out of the cave and just all three of you jammed them together in that little scrunch.
Which is why I believe you would be best as the support vessel, due to your strategizing in combat and your telepathic abilities.
okay, so I should stay towards the center then of everyone.
And, potentially, the lead, if you can. The lead vessel will be either Shade or myself, as we
I'll
have
take
most
the lead.
experience.
I can utilize some of my abilities to speed the ship, which should give us an edge. And as the designated captain ship, it will put a target on my back, which will allow you all to take that opportunity.
Which is why we have two vessels focused on speed, so that while the captain ship is off taking heat, someone else can fly in behind him. Gibbs being a multifaceted combat. Isoki
Okay, so
would be best as a secondary attack
we've
vessel.
got
Yusoki.
Shade in front, right?
Takisoki.
And then Spice behind.
Our little rabid rat.
And then Bubbles attacking somebody, right?
Yeah, middle-ish.
So I'm actually gonna put Bubbles center stage, right? Because Bubbles needs to be in the fucking thick of it.
The easiest way.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay over here. Echo, where are you thinking you're gonna go?
I plan to follow the captain. If I am one of the faster ships, I can do more laps around.
And then Gibbs can be back here as backup support for.
Yeah, like
Gibbs,
the
Gibbs will
audible.
also be an attack vessel for our next ship.
Right, so as Shade goes ahead, Gibbs can shoot from behind. So I'm assuming that all the other ships are gonna come up and get in this grill. So Gibbs can stay back while Shade is up here. Nee and Echo are flanking and Bubbles is in the thick of it.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
No,
Why?
you're thinking about it two-dimensionally. We will be flying in ships. We won't be able to stay in formation the entire time. They will attempt to break
I
us
know,
up.
but I'm just saying,
The
as
easiest
like
way
a
for us to
general.
gain points is to complete laps.
Okay?
If we can disable their ships, then that will help.
Right, so you're in the
Priority
front.
should be finishing laps.
Okay.
And protecting the first vessel.
Yeah, you're the
Because
speedy
if they
one, so
disable
spin
the
us a
captain
fucking lap.
ship, they lose points.
Okay.
So
what
we
is
need
what are you saying?
We need to focus on finishing laps, but primarily protecting each other so that our ships aren't disabled.
That's contradictory. Choose one.
Again, the idea is that we will not engage in combat. Attack vessels are not primarily looking for offense.
Okay.
They are there to provide defense through offense and keep the vessels off of the main speedy ship's backs.
Which is you two.
Correct.
Right.
I believe Spice has hit on an actual good formation, in that Bubbles will want to be behind Shade to keep an eye out for any approaching ships.
Agreed.
Spice to the right, somewhere to the left of Bubbles, whether above or below, as indeed this is a three-dimensional battlefield, would be preferable, as she can provide extra support, and also keep a lookout for more attacking vessels. Gibbs behind, so that, as having the longest range weaponry, in the form of particularly disturbing psychological spells, would be most useful in the back. Also, smoke screens.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have experienced more than one of those smoke screens in the middle of the night, and they are quite unfortunate, and might help to disable some reckless pilots who get too close.
Okay.
Yeah, this all sounds like a good idea.
Imagine being on the bottom bunk, though. Even worse.
Oof.
This is why I have chosen the top bunk.
Smart.
Stinky. Farts.
Is there any way, like, since most likely I'm gonna be going against the close combat people?
That is not likely. It is most likely that they will attempt to harpoon the lead ship.
Okay. Well,
But Bubbles will indeed be offensive. So he is having a good recommendation, yes?
well, my point is there any, like, anti-harpoon weapon we can make or something?
Not with the time that we have.
I'm equipping myself with the artillery gun recovered from
Why aren't
Should we
you the
talk
speedy
this?
one?
Saltos.
What
In the
you
event
might
that
like,
I am
Bubbles.
harpooned, I can take out the pilot and detach.
Okay, so you're gonna be a shooter and the speedy one?
We will all be shooting.
Would I have time to, like, put blades on my ship? Like, shark?
If you,
If
So-
we can get you guys to start practicing so that
Okay,
I can
we can
go
practice.
engineer all the shit that Shade
Yeah,
still
we're
needs
just
to
planning.
fucking
We're planning stuff
engineer.
while...
I just want you to think about putting blades on your ship. Like, yes, that is a thing, but those are like specially designed weapons
Yeah.
for like destroying starship hulls.
I imagine,
It's like
I imagine
taping like a
So,
steak
the
neck to
drow
side of
ship
a
is already
car.
kind of sharp.
Echo is,
like, yeah,
Echo
Mad
is
Max.
giving Bubbles specifically the focus fire algorithm so that
Okay.
you have an increased chance to hit.
I was imagining you talking about like taping this like this. So it's just like
Yes.
a doctor knife going
Yeah,
through.
just
Echo
sticking
would
out.
also recommend the grinding gears,
The grinding gears are awesome.
which you put on the outside of your ship, and it is for close combat. It's so that when you buzz a nearby vessel, you can basically chew into their hull.
Oh.
It won't be as useful for this fight, but it might be useful for future fights.
It's basically our buzzsaw.
So it's like a melee attack.
Light plasma torpedo pods would probably either go to Spice or Gibbs.
Probably give them the spice.
The grinding gears are like an offensive version of like the Lowell Mills machines to fingers.
Yeah.
They pull elements in when you get close.
Gross.
Playing mill games on Sunday.
What did I get? I took the perihelion artillery laser is the one that I'm at.
Yes, and again, just as a
It's just an anti-personnel.
correct, yeah, and like artillery, it's devastating against humans, but through the canopy of a starship would be difficult. You'll need to gain access to the starship.
Right, but like I can hack and shit.
Sure.
If I get fucking harpooned,
Sure.
and open the cockpit.
Okay, Echo. So you have an artillery.
nothing
Shade has
else.
an artillery laser. Spice has
anti-personnel.
torpedo. Bubbles has focus fire and grinding gears. Echo and Gibbs. Gibbs has junk cannon.
Yes.
Just because that's her character.
The vision that I'm getting just from this is that you're gonna be harpooned. It's like a close combat ship fighting a ship, and then you get out and you're like, you have a knife, and you're just gonna fight the starship.
I mean, like, kind of.
I know, it's amazing.
Currently, I have a flak thrower installed on my vessel that I would like to give to Bubs.
Oh, so
A flak
I don't think we
thrower.
should give.
I have a lot of weapons.
Yeah, I don't think we should put all of our eggs in one basket. I think you should keep that.
I also
flag
have
thrower.
And a thing to think about too, when you're changing
have
around
one
that
there.
many systems, it might be worth just flopping ships.
I also have that rail cannon, I believe, too. So I would have.
We all have chain cannons, like
No,
installed.
that's a twin. It's like
The railgun that we got?
Yeah.
Oh, you have the railgun.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
That's why I think I have way too many. Because if I have the flat.
Yeah, you do.
Wait, when did you get the railgun?
I had. We decided when we were doing the numbers.
Like one of the
initially.
original 4.
Yeah, it was. I remember when we got the ship. We got
You
the
mounted
railgun.
it back in the
Yeah, and we had a
Oh, at the
discussion like
very
who would be
beginning.
the best.
I thought it was something that we had gotten since then that I needed
no,
to add.
no.
So we have whatever Kara wants to do with her flank cannon. Then
We are giving the data link to Spice as it enables long-range communication and organization between ships. She would be able to give us more insight into different battlefield strategies while we are in combat.
Chief strategist.
Captain actions.
Yes, no, I picked up on that one. You got it.
And for myself, I will take the counter-inertial baffle and the light blade hull.
ooh,
I'm gonna take all those parts and start engineering for the next day.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about all this is a full day's worth of jobs that you have here. I would say you don't need a check for it. It really just is a time
It's
commitment.
gonna be
So this is what Shade is doing for the day.
I need to create these. You all should train. Echo. Shade's not gonna say it.
What?
Never mind.
Say what?
Do your best. Try to focus on the mission.
Aye aye.
We only have a day.
Yep.
This is bigger than just completing the mission.
What even was your name again? Leon? Aye aye, Leon.
We need to survive.
Apagio? Right? Something like that? Whoa, sorry, okay.
Babe, I think we should maybe go practice now.
DiPeggio. Right?
No, not even close, babe.
You kind of take Spice and just lead them away. No problem. So the two of you, we'll get back to you in a second. Echo, what are you doing?
Echo's probably trying to lead them all in like in practice.
So where are you going to go practice?
We should hit up the Isoki or the other GPF people. We should practice with other ones.
That would not be a good idea. We would want to
Why?
keep our strategy quiet.
Okay.
Also,
I
do
like
not
playing
wish to
games in the
destroy
park
our
with
ships.
kids. Okay.
Can Echo download an app so that Shade can keep working on the ships while we're doing this? So that there's like a flight simulator.
No.
No.
Aw, damn.
Like,
Wait,
You
what?
gotta.
Shade
You gotta.
can keep what? Like, is Shade gonna download fucking?
You're actually going to be flying like
Microsoft
tight
Flight
laps
Simulator, not a sponsor.
while you're just glued to the wing, just like hammering away, adding a cannon on. That is something that you do need to think about, right? So if you're going to do practice, you do need to be in the ships.
We
And
did
the
have a
ships
game
cannot be
console.
being built while they're being used for practice. So there will be two of them, Gibbs's and Shade's, that are not in use at the moment. You could cycle through.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'm only working on one at a time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You could cycle them through, but that does mean that you have to come back, bring one, take another one out, and it just adds. It will subtract from the overall amount of training by its transitions.
Right. But that's better than nothing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. That's just something to think about.
Echo would probably like. Could they just not go out to like Zin, the surface of Zin?
You could.
Because Echo doesn't need to breathe, so Echo could like direct from the ground.
We won't super freeze, right?
Not on the Zen crawler.
We're in a
But
ship.
in the
No,
vacuum of
in the
space.
vacuum of space. I know it's super
No,
fucking
you'll,
cold.
You'll freeze.
We're in
What
a
are you talking
ship.
about?
No, you'll be in the tenon sizers.
Okay. I mean, no, I mean,
Are you
like,
gonna walk out there naked?
I mean, like, what if it's like extra space cold or something?
It's
I don't know.
This
No.
space
Joe would have said
I
that.
love that.
we've already been on Zin
Okay.
essentially in the tenon slicers and not died.
Yeah. But
What's on
one-
the dark side of this?
One thing that I am very confused about. No, and this is one thing that is really important. So if you're going to get out of your ship and be like on the surface of Zin, you need to keep pace with the crawler, which is a huge walking space station. So I mean, you can do it. You're going to be running the whole time. Like
Why
jog.
would you
Echo
also be
would-
an attendant slicer though?
Echo's just like wants to like watch from like the ground to watch the formation. There
Yeah.
will still be a tenon slicer.
Okay. For whatever reason,
No, I'm
I
not
was
like
trying to figure
rappelling
out-
off of the ship.
I was trying to figure out why that would at all be required. But yeah, no problem. You can
But also,
definitely take it
Echo
more
could
remote.
probably run up and catch up to
No, you can. You certainly
Zin
can.
crawler.
I was thinking about it. I was like, you don't even have to run full speed. You could jog, but it just seems unnecessary. And it is.
But
and
I'm
that's,
Speedy Joe.
and that's why you're not going to do that. That's why instead you're going to be in your ship and you're going to watch from below. So no problem. Go
Basically,
ahead.
Echo wants to run drills so that they at least get accustomed to the ships, and once their specific vessels are ready, come back, switch them out, and then
Make a flat piloting check. And this is for your leadership of this general kind of like practice session.
general practice session.
Yeah.
22.
22. Okay. So the first half of the day goes by, and then you take some time with Bubbles and Spice, who are uniquely excitable, it's challenging. You have them out in spaceships flying around, and Bubbles instinctively is trying to follow like Spice, and you're trying to teach, like, you need to cross patterns and do this stuff, but Bubbles like biases to the left, and it's not, you don't gain any new insights into strategies that might be helpful, but you practice.
Get some warm-ups.
You get some warm-ups. I would say the most important thing that you really get out of all of this is that this is time that you probably could have used for other things.
Yeah.
But the first half of the day goes by. Shade gets 2 of the ships fixed up, and you're able to go over, swap 2 of them out at a time.
No. I think after the first round, Echo's just like, we have trained enough for today.
It seems like maybe regular practice sessions prior to starting this would have been the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like Shade said we should do
Yeah.
training like months ago.
You did it once, and it was technically only 3 weeks ago.
And that was not lockout
I
training.
meant like months in game, not months in real life. But yeah.
All right.
So do I get a +1 to my piloting set or what?
No.
Fuck.
You guys get
The opportunity.
you get the satisfaction of having practiced, and you get to know that you have not hindered your efforts in any way.
You can walk away with the knowledge that Echo has
It's
learned a
in
little
total.
bit more about humanity today.
Definitely more in touch with the organics. And I will say, you do know going away that you haven't learned anything new.
Yep.
And this is definitely time in which you could have been perhaps doing that.
Ooh, what?
I
Shit.
feel like some lordly voice from on high is saying, that was a waste of time.
It wasn't a waste of time, but I think
He thinks it was a waste of time.
without really putting any more thought into, like, I mean, yeah, there's not numbers really that we could add to that.
Nope.
So there you go. Half the day goes by. 2 of the ships are repaired. You bring the group back to the hangar because you've finished ahead of schedule, and you are all back within this hangar space. Shade Echo comes back a little earlier than anticipated.
The others can't see it because not Android, but Echo looks like they've been through like they just had to sit in a daycare and be the only adult in the room all day for 40 children.
Bubbles just like took my blocks and kept knocking them over. It's so annoying. Can you pilot better, bitch? Oh my god.
Babe, I'm trying the best I can.
Jesus.
I'm just trying to copy what
Are you
do.
trying to destroy my ship, or are we on the same team? I can't even fucking tell we're in there, Sky.
Babe, yeah, of course we're on the same team.
So it's about 4 p.m.
There's more important information about the pilots that we will be facing.
Yep.
There's a Lashunta, 2 humans, and an android.
Which team?
The top rope turbos.
And that's who we're fighting tomorrow?
Correct.
Okay.
It is most likely that the Lashunta will have a similar strategy as yours. You need to be aware and ready in case they attempt to telepathically communicate or disorient any of us.
So,
Similarly, the android will probably be able to hack into our systems. I
right,
have
so,
not been able to upgrade the ship's defense mechanisms in that regard, so it is a vital weak point.
so I shouldn't go up against the other Lashunta because she and I will cancel each other out. So what I'm gonna do,
That is exactly what you should do. None of us will
she
be able
is
to
going
stop
to have, or he or she, it has natural defenses against my type of attacks.
Yes, but if those are focused on you, you also have those defenses.
Right, so,
Which
but
us.
so aren't we on the? Isn't offense the best defense though? So shouldn't I go for someone who doesn't have?
We should try to neutralize their members.
All right, I'll go after the thinker.
Bubs,
Yeah.
you should assist Spice in trying to take down the Lashunta as quickly as possible.
Yes, Captain.
Okay.
Who's our second target?
Strategies.
I am going to go out for a bit.
What?
I'm going to gather some information.
Me too. I'm coming with you.
No.
I am planning on going quietly.
You're too well known here. People already are looking for you.
I feel like a
Go out.
trapped princess. Rapunzel. Do you guys remember that old earthen fairy tale?
As like Spice starts to talk, you use that.
Yeah, like he
immediately to
turns over to
slip
Echo,
out.
who's just like not there anymore.
There's the moment when Spice's eyes go up in their head and there's just whites, you know that she can't see, and so you just scoot out.
Yeah, mid eye roll.
I'm closed, like, I'm like a princess.
Yeah. Go. And you make your way out towards the top floor and make your way into the area that is called Warvox Shorn. You said that you're doing so quietly.
Yeah.
Can you make a stealth check?
Love to. That's gonna be a 20. Oop, that's the wrong one. 24.
24. Okay. You feel a little stealthy when you make your way out into the sort of area. Where are you going?
Echo would have probably be making their way towards the bar at the end.
Okay. Okay. And you make your way in that direction with what in mind?
That's not from.
Echo hasn't seen the high top turbos. High top turbos?
Top rope turbos.
Top rope turbos. Not sneakers.
Different.
In the shipyard of Sin, and didn't like take note of anyone that matching that description around the Warbox Shorn, so that leaves one other like real big lockout bar, which is the bar at the end of everything. Also knowing that it's William the Pleaser's bar, they have their MRS disguise on, and they're kind of hoping, if not to go in, then just to kind of like case the joint.
Okay. So you make your way with the 24, feeling relatively hidden. People definitely take note of you, but within the sort of Mars coveralls, you feel relatively hidden. You head towards what would be, if the Zin Crawler were a creature, the butt and upper thighs of the rear two legs. Really just the sort
So
of...
the bar really is at the end.
It really is. It's at the aft portion of the station. Here, there is a much different looking architecture. And while it's all still probably the same superstructure underneath, here there has been a lot more work put into the facade. And as you get closer, it's less and less of this sort of Jacinto branded, steel and purple, and a lot more just flat grays, painted and well maintained. Second here. There are not a lot of public buildings, and so as you get closer, there are not any real bars or things like that you're seeing. You're not seeing any food stalls. The smells of Warvox Shorn fade away, and really all that you're smelling is stale air. And you can see there is a place up ahead where there is a number of different kind of barriers that have been set up, and there are people who are certainly part of the Carbon Cartel, who are wearing armor, who are checking people in and out through this checkpoint. You can see up going about 30 feet, there are these poles. Make a perception check.
Yeah, right. Does anybody?
30-12. Yes, 30-12.
Nice.
23.
23. With the 23, you're not really sure. You don't get a great look at it, but you can see that the fence extends higher up than it does visibly, and so there's probably some kind of either an electronic sensor or something that goes up all the way at least 30 feet high. The physical wall itself looks to be some kind of a semi-transparent plastic or metal, and that only goes up about 6-7 feet. And so that would be easy enough to jump as long as there's nothing worse above. But
This is the only way to get into this section.
yes, and you can look, and kind of looking down to the right, there are dark buildings with no doors, so you would imagine the entrance is subterranean to a lot of these. You would know that a lot of these are connected by this kind of interior, what was at one point a maintenance hatch and is now the only way in and out of a lot of the buildings. And it's because it's easy for the Carbon Cartel to control that way. there are multiple checkpoints that you can enter into, but they are checkpoints. I mean, you do need to pass them to get in. From this particular one, the one since you're trying to get towards the bar at the end, looking straight down, past the actual sort of barrier itself, there's a number of buildings. You could see one off to the left reads, and this is one of the very few kind of public buildings. It reads Sakura's Pantry, and it is like this bright neon that is over a number of cages that are hanging from the ceiling outside of what is a similar structure to what you have converted into a hangar, some kind of a storage bay. You can see opposite that, there is a number of probably housing structures that are a little nicer than the things that you've seen, but 200 feet past all of that, the only other building that has any kind of sign, it is a bracketed on either side by huge viewports that at first you would be forgiven for mistaking as just painted black elements of steel. But you can see, in fact, these are viewports that are just showing nothing. From the aft of the Zin Crawler, the dark side of this moon, it is always pointed towards the sort of darkness that lay beyond the system. And so you are looking at just darkness, and between that, sandwiched, there is a dark building where the only ambient lights are coming from the burning butts of cigarettes that are kind of hovering outside the door.
Just like shade.
There are some bits of illumination through tinted windows that you would imagine are maybe menus or LED glasses or other things. There is very faintly music, and you would imagine it's incredibly loud. And from here, it sounds a little bit... Make a perception check.
I need to know what the style of music is.
It's drift punk.
24.
They ripped off my band.
Well, you ripped off the band
Our
first.
Well, I don't know who gave
It's loud. You feel vibrations. You can't hear the sound. And so the soundproofing is certainly quality within this building. Even that, it's shaking from the sound here. The gentle kind of vibrations that are coming from that would give you the sense that this is probably something more in like the Western side of music. But you just kind of feel the music happening underneath the deck itself. Currently in front of this space, you can see there are 3 or 4 members of the Carbon Cartel that are kind of waiting for people to come in and out. Nobody's going through currently.
Echo goes forward
Okay.
and is going to attempt to go through the checkpoint towards the bar.
So you go forwards through. And as you get closer, you can see all 4 of them begin to kind of like coalesce in the middle. And you can see one of them is going to take out a device that is unfamiliar to you. This looks almost like a camera. And Cecilia would know that this is based off of something that is called the personal protagonist. This seems to be similar technology taken in a very different direction. And as they hold it up, they kind of toss it, and it begins to float and begin to circle you. And are you just like allowing this to happen? You feel as it begins to kind of scan?
Yeah, Echo's kind of trying to play it cool, and if Echo freaks out, they're gonna freak out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or if they roll well, then Echo's gonna.
Yeah, I don't like it when Joe rolls.
So you can see this begins to scan, and almost instantly as it does, you can feel not just the presence of light, there is a subtle electromagnetic kind of pulse that is happening here. This is reading not just how you look, but also any kind of subtle signals. This is looking for weapons. This is a broad array, but all at once, the very first sort of enforcer dressed in this dark, at first it looks almost like a matte sort of, similar to like an umpire's vest, but as you get closer to it, it's like the angles don't really show up because it's all one color. It is this very high-tech, sort of, you would imagine, reactive armor, similar actually to what Jimmy 12 Toes had in terms of its ability to change its resistance level. But they step close and they just brush this scanner off, almost knocking it into the wall, and they put a hand directly planted into your chest, stopping you in your tracks. And through this loud speaker, they say, "Stop!" And then you see 5 or 6 different languages pop up. You see Lasunta, you see Vesk, a whole bunch of different things pop up that just are translating in real time what he's saying. to leave really no room for misinterpretation here. What is your business here?
Hello. I am MRS Unit 1, 2.
3, 4, 5.
No. 6, 1, 2, 6, 5. And I am headed toward the bar at the end of everything.
The bar at the end of everything is closed, except by invitation only.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I am competing in the lockout tournament this week and had hoped to enjoy some beverages and some mild ribbing with other pilots.
So right now, there's no face. You just see like this expressionless visor, and you have no idea what's going on behind it. And so a couple seconds pass, and then you just hear, and
Are racers not invited?
not tonight, unless you have an invitation.
Is it a private party?
You can see he turns around, and one of the other ones just kind of shrugs. And they look at you and they say, I can't tell if you're dense or you're not from here or what. But get out of here before you get hurt, little Mars unit.
That is not very polite.
They shove you just a little bit.
Ooh.
Fine. Fine.
No.
Fine.
I'm gonna fight with 5.
Only
You
four.
won't. World stars.
Let's see it, MRS. Let's go.
What are you doing? They take like another step towards you, and they look at you, and you can see through this this sort of visor very little, but they say, "What?
You want to fight?
What does it take to get an invitation?
Does a 28 hit your KAC?"
It does.
They reach back, and you can hear the polyplate just kind of stretch and realign, and they just punch you right in the face. And it's an unarmed attack.
This is how you get rivals.
It deals 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And they just and for them, they really throw all that they can into this punch. They are not really an unarmed combatant necessarily, but they hit you. And they do so, and you can see like everybody else steps forwards a little bit. You hear guns unclicking from these magnetic holsters, but they just hold their hand back and they go again. What? You want another one? And they go like they reach back as if to kick you.
Is there a reason why you're not asking William to please let you in?
Yes.
He's not friendly.
Well, don't you guys like trade information?
Our last interaction ended with Echo realizing that he was broadcasting and sending goons after us to kill you.
Yeah, but you can use
No.
leverage. Like I am a piece of leverage.
Yeah, no, Echo's done doing that though. Echo's
Okay.
tried that and that didn't go well.
Well, give up somebody else that you know.
No one else has the juice.
The juice.
Oh,
Damn.
that is unfortunate.
Lie.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Lie and say that William let you in.
None of you are here.
So he looks down at you. You just say that was unfortunate.
It was unpleasant, but no damage was done. Thank you. That is how I receive an invitation, yes?
He shakes his head and he looks back, and you hear from behind him, I think they just might be touched. And they turn back around. They just say, you're not welcome here. Are you here alone?
Echo just kind of like gestures behind them where there is no one there.
There's a tumbleweed.
You can hear this little, and from over you see there is a different language that comes out. You're not familiar with it, but you can see the common that kind of splashes up across. It's very clicky and clacky, and you would guess whoever is behind this particular vestment does not have a face or mouth. This is probably some kind of an insectoid, but next to it, it just says, you could bring them to Secura. And they turn around and you just hear them go, yeah, I guess we could. You don't want to be alone around here, right? You want an invitation.
I do not think that Secura is where I had intended to go.
I think if you're looking for somewhere to belong, she'll help you out.
Do I know of Secura?
You certainly do. Sakura the Whip is a Lashunta they bill themselves as a person who will hire out mercenaries, but those mercenaries are never willing, and typically they are driven through a series of physical and psychological reshaping,
Conditioning.
training.
I appreciate the invitation,
Just like U.S.
but
corporate
Sakura the Whip
systems.
is not who I am here to look for. I was told that Julian made particularly fine beverages.
You can see that there's an immediate reaction, and they all level their guns at you.
Is Julian not a bartender? At the bar at the end of everything. A bar that is quite well renowned.
Julian works for William. You're not a Mars unit. Who are you?
Busted!
I am competing in the lockout tournament. I am a racer.
They grab you by the shoulder. And you can see the other ones come forwards,
Can I
cuffs come
attempt
out.
to dodge the grab by the shoulder?
Are you attempting to run?
Sure.
Okay. So go ahead and make a reflex saving throw.
Oh.
Oh, she fine.
29.
Kara is fucking fine.
Okay. It's close. It's very close.
got
But as they reach forwards, you duck out underneath. But they are all coming forwards. And can you go ahead and roll for initiative? This is, I guess, going
Oh,
to be a chase.
1v1
No,
or
it's
whatever,
chase.
4v1.
Chase combat.
Okay.
Another 29.
That's pretty good. Give me one
Which
second.
hopefully is quick because they're hopefully slow. And
Well, if
Echo
you
is
dash,
fast.
you use a dash action, then it's like
Echo's
450
not the only
feet.
one who can run fast in the world, though. One of
the
them
only
might be able
fast
to run
person.
fast too.
You guys have actually met two different people that are faster than Echo already.
Who?
Just like Shade.
Nope, wasn't Shade.
Shade's
So,
faster in a
Echo.
spaceship.
Time slows down for a second as they go to grab you. You duck underneath, and at the same time, you hear safeties click off. You hear things get very serious very quickly. And as you mentioned, Julian, that seems to have maybe not been the right choice.
Fuck.
And that's
You're right.
interesting
Yeah, no,
because they
I
don't seem
respect
to
it.
be just a bartender at this place. They seem to be maybe a little bit more important than that. But almost instantly, that changed this to a very hostile situation. What are you doing?
Echo wants to lead them on a merry chase.
Okay.
Echo isn't going to immediately head back to
The hangar.
the hangar where, lead everyone back towards where everyone else is.
Spice, I brought some friends.
Oh, I love dinner parties.
Echo is going to try and weave the most complicated route, probably take them back towards the main causeway where all the ships park and whatnot, but by the temple where the creepy computer people live.
Okay. So you begin to run, and you make your way as quickly as you can. Go ahead and for me, make a fortitude saving throw.
Okay.
Fortitude saving throw.
Ooh, that's not good. That's a 9.
That's a 9.
Uh-oh.
So as you are running, almost immediately as a reaction, the very first thing that they do is you get 30 feet away, is they trigger this electronic strip that is in the ground, and they electrocute you. And
Ow.
you do lose only 10 feet of movement, which for you, not a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
For
Well,
most people, that's a pretty large deal.
that
You
would
do
be
take-
huge for me. I'd be not in good shape.
70 billion.
16 points of lightning damage, as this does happen.
Not worried.
But easily, you accelerate beyond that. For a second, your foot magnetizes, but you break that just using momentum alone, and you accelerate beyond that. And how fast are you moving on this turn?
So, if Echo were just to go at the normal speed with that trap, they would be able to go 70 feet forward. But Echo is gonna run. Echo's gonna book it, and Echo can go 6 times their speed.
Make another
Book
fortitude.
it.
Make 2 more fortitude saving throws. Though.
Okay.
What?
So one is a 15, and the other is a 22.
Zappers.
The second one, you also are almost pulled into this one. You are able to break free. It does slow you by 10 more feet. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Wait.
You take 13 points of lightning damage. The third one, you are now aware that these seem to be spaced every 30 feet. And so you go to leap. And as you leap, you feel your whole body yanked down a little bit. And you are able to, using that trajectory, kind of glide over this last one. But you get the sense that this is a magnetic, almost electromagnetic pulse that pulls down. You are not slowed by that one, and you just accelerate out past the final barrier. And if you run after that, there is no more of these little strips. You can kind of accelerate
So
beyond.
this turn, with their movement and traps, they move 460 feet.
Yeah, no problem.
I was joking when I said 450 feet, and I was low.
And as you accelerate beyond, no problem, end of your turn, you are like blocks away. You hear sirens begin to go off. The others have no chance to use their reaction to stop you in any meaningful way, but you are aware of the fact that the building opposite the Sakura's place that you had seen coming in, you had seen 3 buildings that just look like houses. One of them rises about 10 feet and begins to move off and in the direction of you.
Wait, the house moves?
Yes, the entire structure.
Like
The house is facing Echo?
Yeah, like
And as you are about 460 feet away, you barely feel it. But this is almost certainly at least 80 feet tall, a mech of some kind. And it is just thundering down towards you.
Dope.
There are alarms that go off, and along the areas that have created this place that is called the End, the gates begin to shut. And this whole place is now swarming with Carbon Cartel. You can see there are drones overhead, but you are far away.
I'm literally imagining like a Barbie
52
dollhouse
miles an
that
hour.
stood up and started marching after Echo.
That was delayed.
But I'm going to take you out of initiative. You're far away.
And there was like a very convoluted like.
Oh,
there
yeah,
was,
no.
There was zebra running happening.
Hey, you're only like 100
Rabbit
feet away, but it was 460 feet of movement to get there.
Yeah.
No problem. You passed somebody twice. They were like, oh.
Deja vu.
They went that way.
forgot my wallet.
Yeah, literally.
You broke your
my
door the
phone.
first time. You like fixed it on the way back the second time, but no problem. You make your way out and you can head off and in the direction of the hangar if you wish. You can loop back around and try again. I would say there's a lot of noise coming from there.
Try again.
Once Echo is maybe 200 feet away from the entrance to Warvoxhorn, they're gonna like they're gonna slow down to walking speed, like everybody else walking speed in like a dark alley, and then just kind of like pop the collar, kind of brush off any of the singe marks that may have remained, and walk out from the alley at a normal pace, and just kind of like continue a winding path, stop at a few food stalls, maybe spend some extra time like having a drink at one of the stalls just for some nonchalance,
Sure.
to see if anyone follows. I think they'd spend an extra like maybe 30 or 40 minutes just
Okay.
trying to shake tails.
You, over the course of these 40 minutes, you look around. There are people everywhere. It's pretty busy, and there's a lot of talk as you're like very much acute and aware of people going around. A lot of talk of the lockout happening tomorrow. People are excited about this, and people are talking about there being like special food that's being brought in, and it's really going to be like a fun event for people. You have no sense that you are being followed.
Nice.
And you know that you were, and so it seems as if your speed certainly threw them off.
Nice.
Not a single person comes looking for you further away from the kind of 50-foot perimeter that they've decided to keep here.
Cool. Once they're sure that like everything has been shaken, they're gonna head back to the hangar.
While you were waiting, there are a few people from the Carbon Cartel that do come through the crowd here, and so they're not stopping there.
Mm-hmm.
They're going out into the station, the rest of it, and looking for probably somebody who matches your description. You have your collar popped, but it is a Mars jumpsuit.
All right,
And for
Spike.
what it's
Spike.
worth, you haven't seen, I don't think, another Mars unit. You've seen a Mars labeled box, but that's it. So you do stand out.
What do you mean Mars labeled box?
Like a box from Mars.
Like
And-
food?
and-
MRS
Mars,
is a
like
company.
the company.
Yeah.
I've got like the logos and the.
It's like a Rocco unit.
Yeah. It's like
Okay, so there's not like
I'm wearing
an
the-
actual android that's a Mars unit in the box.
No, I'm wearing the
Okay.
Amazon vest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
Everyone knows the smile.
Okay, got it.
So Echo clocks the Carbon Cartel members that are like looking around.
Certainly.
I think at some point Echo would like move further into one of like the tent style like street bars, and maybe head out the back flap. twist their glamour projector and cycle through to just like a generic jumpsuit.
Okay.
Change their hair a little bit, and then
Make a perception check.
I'm so perceptive today now. That's a 34.
Ooh.
With a 34, as you were walking back, no more than 40 minutes after you've left, you do note a poster, red wanted letters, similar to one that you had seen Spice. And it now has a picture of MRS 1265.
You're famous.
I've been burned.
And it has a 1 million credit reward.
Holy.
Hey, look at you.
And it has something unlike the one that Spice had. It has a little appended end at the very bottom. And it is collectible from William the Pleaser.
He knows.
Oh,
You look at this face, it's not that different from your normal one. And so if William has seen this, you get the sense that William probably knows you're here.
Motherfuck. That was William trying to get into your brain.
No, I don't think it was.
Okay, all right.
It could be.
Who knows?
They were too
Does it go
polite.
make it back safely to the hangar? Or do they need to stealth?
Parts of you do. No, yeah.
Parts of me.
With your,
Here's my finger.
with your original check, no problem. You escaped. They also rolled 2 natural ones. And so
Yeah.
the first person completely lost you. And then any potential chance for them to have conversations around you even were lost. And so had no real chance to even get you to blow your cover.
I think they were wearing like a bikini or something.
All the pictures, it says MRS like 1265, but it's just
It's
like
the Nami wanted poster.
it's Tina Turner. Huey's Big
Dope.
Adventure.
I don't have breasts.
Damn it. So there's just like a gaping hole.
It's just flat. There's just nothing. Why would you have a gaping hole where there could be chest and
Because you
functional-
have no heart.
Aerodynamics.
How would that be aerodynamic?
Just a ramjet right in the chest.
It's my Tony Stark heart. That's what it is. Not a sponsor.
Oh man. Anyways, no problem. You make it back. At this point, when you make it back, you're probably looking at like 5 o'clock.
Cool. I've been gone an hour.
How was your walk?
It was like 20 minutes to get there and to like have that conversation, and then 40 minutes of you just like losing the tail.
I like to imagine Spice has started telling us the story of Rapunzel. And when we get back.
Oh, yeah. It's like you guys haven't heard about the old Earth, and even I know about that story because you know how the Shuntas were the ones to introduce humans to the rest of us. So let me tell you about this fairy tale that they were crazy about. And she goes on to tell the story of Rapunzel.
Tell
Did
us.
you expect me to do it?
I
Honestly,
don't know.
Olive doesn't fucking actually know. What is it? She's in a... All right, let me tell you.
I'm interested to know what all of this about Rapunzel.
All right. So there was this princess in a tower, and she was locked in the tower because her parents hated her, I guess. And
Rapunzel was given to a witch as a price for
this is my story, not
her
yours. Shut
husband
up.
stealing beans from a witch's.
That sounds fake, and I think so. Humans were really terrible to their women, apparently. So they trapped her in a tower, and then her hair grew really long, and so she wanted to be saved from her fucking tower. And so apparently, this like hot guy finds out that she's trapped in the tower, and he is like, "Rapunzel, I'm here. Let down your hair." And she's like, "Who are you, you creep?" And then he's like, "I'm also a prince, I think. And I'm here to save you. Let down your long hair and I'll climb up and save you, I guess." Right? And then
Babe, you're telling us.
And at about this point, Echo comes in an hour later. He's only about halfway through the story.
wait, I think he climbs up her hair somehow, but that means they're both trapped in the tower. So I don't know how it ends.
That sounds painful. I wouldn't, if I had hair,
Right?
I wouldn't want
No, but I think she like braids it around like the window hook or something, so it's not actually pulling on her scalp.
Yeah, I guess that sounds. I don't really have a frame of reference for hair paids.
But also, why didn't she just have a gravity gun and shoot it at the ground? Or like jump jets, right?
I guess that would make the story better.
What an idiot. She sounds poor. Anyway.
Brutal.
She sounds poor.
That's gonna be so funny in retrospect. So,
I have negative money.
no problem. You half the story of Rapunzel, half the story of like privilege.
Wait, was she really trapped there by a witch? Why?
So the actual
Talk
story.
about this at break.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I can tell you the actual story,
We'll
and
get
Shane
to
would
it.
probably know it better than you. But
Yeah, probably.
yeah,
Bubs believes Spice's.
No, Spice delivers it with extreme confidence.
I imagine that Bubbles imagines this happening as like Spice and Bubbles the entire
Yeah.
time.
it's like the little thought cloud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You started this story when I left.
Oh,
It's a long story.
It was so good you missed it.
It's literally earthen history.
There was,
These
like,
people were
fighting
alive.
and like bloodshed and like and
I do
like
not
love.
need to hear it.
Maybe another time.
Don't worry, I'll tell you tonight.
I've nearly completed the ship modifications.
Then you have had a better night than I have.
What's that supposed to mean?
I have burned my cover. Apparently, I am a terrible spy.
I mean, haven't we all, hun? I'm not mad.
I mean, these things happen.
I attempted to enter the bar at the end of everything.
William the Pleaser knows that you're here.
Yes,
Does he know that you're entering the lockout tournament?
I would assume so, as I am registered as being part of the team.
Wait, did we register as a team? We just registered a team name.
Just a team name.
I don't know. I will have to drastically alter my appearance, but also change my cover.
Again? Oh my god, I can't keep your names. So are you gonna be like SRM now?
That is not. Never mind.
Do you think you can?
You want to be Miss Valentine?
No.
I can go back to Donna.
My name is Steve, and I'm going undercover as Vitessive.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
Do you think you can contact the USR's identity department?
We cannot contact the USR. We just had them save us.
I think we can just hold our ground. I don't think it's a threat.
We will not be able to hold our ground against the Carbon Cartel and William the Pleaser.
We have
Spice.
before.
Do you remember how much your bounty was?
21 million berries.
I have 1 million.
You have what on you right now? Well, let's go gamble the fuck out of that and make it bigger.
No.
A bounty for 1 million.
What? No, you have as much as I do.
That's how much I owe. I don't owe my bounty. If someone were to capture me and bring me to William the Pleaser, they would receive 1 million credits.
I'm not getting the point you're trying to get across.
It may
You
be
need to
I am
spell it
also
out in
wanted.
plainer.
I do not know how much plainer I could make it than I am wanted. I have a bounty on my head. That bounty is worth 1 million credits.
I think what Spice is trying to say is that, you know, she's had always a bounty on her head, so it's just another day for her.
I don't think that is what she is saying.
I honestly lost what I was saying also.
No, then I have no idea what she said, honestly. Sometimes
I don't remember how this
We're all on the
conversation
same page.
started.
You can see Spice still holding that like vapor stick.
Yeah. It's coming out her nose.
Perhaps you should do less drugs.
Never.
Make a fortitude saving throw.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
I get plus 4 to charisma now.
You do feel no, just +2, but you do feel it's. You didn't even realize that you were smoking this. You are not progressing towards an addiction at the moment, but you're getting close.
Like, wait, this could be addicting.
No, that.
No way.
No, honestly, she's like, this can be addicting, but my willpower is so strong that I can beat it. Yeah.
baby,
Yeah, one of those.
one.
Yeah.
baby, you gotta put that down. We gotta focus. We're gonna have the race soon.
God, you sound like Shade.
Well, babe, you can't fly and smoke at the same time.
There are no rules prohibiting you from taking drugs during the race. However,
It's encouraged.
it would be inadvisable for the rest of the team. You would be a liability, more so than currently.
Okay. You fight your fight and I'll fight mine.
My fight is your fight.
Okay. Then be on my fucking team.
I have never been.
I'm so witty.
Are you telling Jade to do drugs? I can't really tell what that means.
Spice, like, literally says that out loud.
Be on my fucking team?
Yeah. Oh, I triggered him.
Babe, can we just focus, please? Like, this isn't the time. We have to, like, do more stretches.
Oh yeah, we have to work out or whatever. We have to get in shape for our battle. Yes.
We have to get ready.
Yes. Okay. Heard. Fine.
Is this another instance where you are going to shut yourselves into the armory?
Yes. I need to get more flexible.
I would like to remind both of you, there are no separate rooms in this vicinity.
Well, then you should shut your ears off.
That is not a function I can do.
Okay. Well, sorry.
Babe, I don't. As much as I want to, I don't think we have time. How much time do we have until?
Bubbles,
We have like 12 hours.
we will be listening. All of us will be listening. With
I
that
can yell your
knowledge,
names if you want.
know that we will be listening.
I think Echo wants.
Do you still want to do it if we are listening?
She wants a shout out. They want a shout out.
Bubs is like looking between Spice and Echo.
What is a shout out?
Echo!
I hate all of you.
His mom was like,
Come on.
You're the worst.
oh boy.
Come on, Bubs, do it for Echo.
Echo
This
just
one's for you!
Echo just runs off of the planet. I don't know how, but they leave gravity, leave the atmosphere. The lack of atmosphere.
Just running into space forever.
So sick.
This is better.
Boy.
No, I don't think either of those things are going to happen because I don't think we have time to do that, Spice. I think we're going to have to get ready for the battle soon.
It is incredibly concerning that you have such a lackadaisical attitude with less than 24 hours before a very, very important race.
Okay.
Not only for yourself, but for the rest of the team.
It would be unfortunate if your taking of drugs led to you losing
Dying.
focus and dying in a horrible fiery crash.
I don't know about you, but I want to. She like smiles and her teeth sparkle because she has +4 to charisma now.
How?
Supposed to.
Well, I hit it before. I don't know how long. Well, I guess
Doesn't
it's
stack.
been
It doesn't
okay.
stack. It's just +2.
Well, then
Until it
one
gets-
tooth sparkles, not the other one.
The other one's all rotten and
Yeah,
falling apart.
from like she's got cigarette smoke stain on one side, but like the other one's looking alright.
You got a dead tooth in there.
Bubs is just thinking, that's
Probably
my
need to
girl.
take that out.
I am confused by your lack of dental hygiene, but also somehow,
Aroused.
no,
Shit.
there is
Echo
one
really wants
very
it.
good tooth.
Bubs has tried to teach her how to
Some
dental
diamond in the
hygiene.
rough.
She literally, when she brushing your teeth, she only does one side.
That's a set, Bubs. That's for.
Just one.
Yes.
Spice
I know I
calls
am
us-
not well versed in
just brushing
Lashunta
her
culture, but Lashunta fashion goes over my head even more.
It's hot right now. It's in style.
So you have probably 2 hours to go before you have
Like
to start
8 hours
thinking
to
about
rest.
like you're going to have a visitor at some point, and it will probably be sometime after that.
Our plan is to say no, right? Our plan is to say no, right?
That is correct.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And also prepare to fight because you never know. They might be angry.
Yeah, they're gonna be fucking pissed. I'm gonna get blown out of the fucking water.
No, babe, that's not gonna happen. Because, like, we're in space.
Okay.
Echo's hair is like fully like according to the glamour projector, it's like fully shaved now. It's real weird because they have eyes.
Wait, like 2 more eyes?
Like human eyes instead of just the blue glowing.
Oh.
Glamour projected like very human features on Echo.
And shades.
Very
Like
human.
pretty
capital
brown
V, capital
eyes?
H.
Yeah,
no, they're
like
blue. They're not that imaginative.
Uncanny Valley, like very human.
I don't want to look at you for that long. Okay.
I worked really hard on this one.
It looks nice.
It looks nice.
Echo blinks at Bubs.
Oh,
It's
but like
weird.
Echo's like solid slow blink, and you're like, ugh.
Bubs doesn't understand uncanniness.
It's all in Canada, Bubs. So, is there anything else that you want to do to prepare?
Is there anything else we can do?
Yeah,
to
what
prepare?
even can I?
I've finished all the ship mods.
We can all smoke, I
You know
guess?
what we can do is we can sabotage the other ships.
That probably would have been a good idea earlier in the day.
Fuck, I literally
research
just
some
thought of
the-
that.
Maybe go check out the battlefields. Maybe you know. there's a lot of
We
things.
saw our battlefield.
We had a good anti-sabotage strategy going.
You glanced at the battlefield as you went, but you did nothing further to investigate.
No one sabotaged our
There's-
ships.
We got a natural 20.
You
We
did.
got all the
That's-
information.
That's why you got to see it and get those bits of information. There's definitely more to see there. You guys weren't.
Oh.
You guys like glimpsed it. Anyways, neither here nor there.
Shit.
It's
Whoops.
towards the end of the day. Oh,
Spice
boy.
is like laying in bed post sex, being like, "We should have probably fucked up the other shifts instead of doing this."
So all of you did actually have to deal with that. No problem.
Echo is scarred.
I guess.
Full exhibition.
Part of
think
part of
we
the
put the crate
uncanny
up.
valley part of like why Echo concentrated so hard on this disguise was because it was some kind of escape from what was actually happening in the vicinity.
The irises are such like high res blue bullshit.
There's been a lot of mental activity creating those irises.
In Bub's defense, Bubs wanted to go to anywhere else.
But he can't say no.
Yeah.
That's true. So, a couple more, or another hour ticks by. It's about 8 o'clock. And you do. Remind me, did you guys set up the warning wire as you had intended to do?
Yes.
So, you do get a brief ping before there is a metallic knock. And this one is just a single loud clang.
At 8 in the morning?
8 at night.
Oh.
I'm gonna go answer before anyone else can go fuck it up.
You make your way up.
I feel like if it's 8 p.m., like, we're busy.
Okay. So, you go
That's our
upstairs.
time, I guess.
There is a.
It's a schedule. We're on a
Great.
schedule.
It's
We've been
like
dating for so long, we're on a
shaking
schedule.
a little bit.
Echo!
You are in a stainless steel storage bay that is essentially, it's a hangar bay, so it just echoes. There is not a lot in here aside from metallic crates that you have all heard is like hollowed out, so it's just channeling sound.
Sorry.
So as you go and you peel back the static tape and you open it up, you can see there is a Farron who is standing there. They are wearing carbon cartel attire. They look very serious. You can see one side of their face is entirely tattooed. Just words, I would say, in a language that none of you probably speak, but certainly not you, Shade. It is a very simple, very runic-looking language. And they look up at you, and there's a piercing in their nose, and they're about to start talking, and then in the dead air, if this was like a video, there would be like the zoom in from like behind you, and you get all blurry, and you can just hear like Spice and Bubbles just faintly kind of echoing through this. It's hilarious.
Fucking.
Yes!
Sounds like a printer.
I would say
being
actually,
blown.
Bubbles and Spice, can you make an intimidation check? What do you
Yes.
call this?
Oh my god.
This guy's
Echo and Shade are just staring out the door like death from you would be welcome.
This is like not within the wheelhouse. Oh, this is a guy who's been around. He's seen some things. This is a new experience for him.
Double 7, so 14.
14.
I unfortunately rolled low, so I have a, for intimidation, 17.
17, okay.
Yep.
So the door opens, and you can see he's about to start talking, and then he squints, his eyes narrow a little bit, and he just goes, "Are you guys all fucking?"
No, I am standing here in front of you. What can I help you with?
He looks back and forth, and his eyes do narrow at Echo for a second. And he looks at you, and he goes, "Do I know you from somewhere?"
Wait, is this the same one? Is this Thaddeus?
No.
That's
Okay.
another Carbon Cartel member, though.
Okay.
I don't like humans. turns back and just kind of redirects his attention towards you. His eyes every now and then flicker up past at the source of sound that is coming from somewhere else within this hangar, but it definitely throws him off, and he is not able to keep the sort of concentration that he would normally be able to, for sure.
You're welcome.
He resettles himself and just says, "My name's Ulishin. You should be expecting me. But I'm here for Hardcore Henry. Who here is a representative of the Pink Cats?"
Neon Wraiths.
Neon Wraiths.
Pink Cats.
Really? And he takes out the poster, and you can see it's like the pink tiger looking thing, and it says Neon Wraiths, but it's definitely a cat.
It's a panther. Come on.
Pink cats.
It's a cat. I mean,
It's not a kitty cat.
no, but it's not a wraith.
Hey, it's a ghost cat.
He doesn't refer to himself as the Other.
No.
No, that's a different one.
No, he is the other.
other.
He doesn't
The
refer
other.
to himself.
Why doesn't he? That's such a cool name.
Because why do you go around being like, "Hi, my name is Dan the Asshat"?
Call me Murder Bobby. Like, it's...
If
Yeah.
I wasn't a gang, I was Murder Bobby, then yeah.
Yeah,
You'd be
okay,
Dan
maybe,
the
but-
Asshat.
Wait, what would Spice be?
Either way,
Spice the Asshat.
we're losing
Oh.
track of what's happening here.
Coming back to
Settle,
the
settle.
Ulishin.
He turns and he just says, "I'm here for Henry to make all of you an offer. You're competing in this tournament. You were the last people to enter. I don't really know a whole lot about you, and no offense, nobody's expecting you to win. I put money against you myself. But just in case, let's say that you do, you need to make sure that you lose when you go up against Henry, and he'll make sure that you're all safe. You understand?"
Yes.
Is there going to be any problems with this?
I suppose we will find out.
He looks at you and he says, "This is a really simple yes or no question. It's either yes or no. We find out means no. So is that what you're saying?"
I suppose it is.
Oh, what a fucking idiot. All right. And he stands up and he leaves.
Damn.
That's it. No problem.
That was big.
It is 8:01. 1 minute passes for that entire conversation. And Echo, make a sense motive check.
I used the bad dice. That was silly. 16.
So 8:02, 8:03, time continues to pass. You get the sense that your visitor is gone. There's no explosions or anything dramatic that follows.
Light them up, guys. They said no.
But
I wouldn't put it past him.
I mean, there's
a
a
chance.
part of you for sure that expected something to happen. You said get ready for violence. You were ready for it. Shade, make a sense motive check just for
Violence
fun.
happens
Thank
on the violence happens on the race course. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's what's
pretty.
gonna happen.
30-20. Which is
The reaction was not what you expected. It was so... it was almost flippant. And so they truly believe that this was a mistake that you made. And they don't even care to put in any effort to intimidate you. There was no second, like, "Oh, you better reconsider." There was a brief moment of, like, "Let me just make sure that I have you clearly." And then, "These fucking idiots." And they walked off. And that tells you that probably it's not just fixed to be, like, harder for you. It's probably going to be nigh impossible, at least in his mind. For what it's worth.
do we choose wrong?
Well, okay, so I literally just had this thought. What if, because I have like a plus 95 to bluff, what if I said, "Oh, yes, we'll go with it. Don't worry, see you tomorrow. We'll lose." And then we just lied.
Damn. What if?
That would have been real good, yeah.
I literally just thought of that just now, and I whispered it to Kara.
Suddenly you
Thought
just
of
hear,
it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, but I had
Suddenly the
something
sound
else in my
stopped.
mouth.
and as you hear,
Oh my god! That's so
All right.
proud.
We'll see you guys after break.
Oh yeah. Why don't we step away for a quick break?
Sorry.
It's all right.
I didn't mean to go there.
Oh boy.
The opportunity was right there.
We're gonna take a break. We'll be
Show
back
you.
in 10 minutes. There's the cat going down there. We'll see you then. And welcome back. We are back. We'll be playing some Starfinder in just a little bit. Dan will maybe be joining us at some point. But oh man, that thing is rolling a lot of natural ones.
That means
that's the
the
second
next
one
one's gonna
tonight.
be
I know.
great.
You need to chuck it.
Yeah, you do.
No, you gotta. It hasn't been rolled officially yet.
That's true. So,
Get them all out now.
back to Starfinder. The echoes of Spice and Bubbles die down in this hangar bay, and in the immediate post-nut clarity, Spice, you realize you could have lied to this individual who is now leaving.
fuck.
But they make their way away, and all of you find yourselves now relatively alone in this hangar bay. It is 8:02 p.m. on this evening, and you have probably no more than maybe 13 hours until your very first race begins.
I think as we're staring at the like closed door, we just hear Spice from like the opposite end of the warehouse saying, "Hey, I could have lied."
Yeah.
Coulda. Didn't.
I don't feel like I had a choice.
Bubbles?
Yeah, this is Bubbles' fault.
Yes, it is.
I don't have problems. It's everybody else's.
Thanks, Gibbs.
Yeah, God.
Baby, you're totally right.
He's like sitting in the trash can eating something. What did you say my name?
No, honey, you're fine.
Echo,
Echo. Oh shit.
you get a communication.
Uh-oh.
It is not from an unknown number. It is from one that is very familiar to you.
Uh-oh.
It is from one William the Pleaser.
Of course.
Are you opening it?
Scan for viruses.
Make a computer check.
That was outside. That doesn't count.
Doesn't count if it's outside. I think it counts. 25.
25. With the 25, you do detect something. It is maybe not necessarily a virus. There's something electronic to it, but there's something more. And you get the sense that this is closer to... It's a fusion between something electronic and something like what Gibbs would do. There's a magic component to it as well.
Interesting.
But you get the sense that opening this will probably have an effect that is not one that you would love.
Can Echo just like bounce it back, like get the mailer daemon system error?
Yeah,
Oh.
you certainly can. You'll lose the content.
I think that's okay.
Okay.
You what?
Opening it bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least you know what he's trying to get across to you.
Probably.
But also,
That's like good information.
But
That's you
also-
can use it as a weapon.
but also,
But also what?
you
What's
can,
the
you can
threat?
use his weapon in the mail as a weapon.
could be
Yeah,
an
no,
EMP.
is it gonna like physically attack Echo?
I mean, it's a
Maybe.
text message, and so
It's information. Why would you say no to information?
Don't do it.
It's
Echo.
magical information. It could fuck her up.
And like read Echo's mind? Probably.
Or like implant a virus like Dr. Maldross implanted
But
into
Gibbs
Shade.
can't do that.
what are
I
you
think
doing?
it's up
Echo?
to Echo's choice.
Echo like pulls Shade's arm over and then like uses his communicator to like ping a point on the map that's like fairly open to the public, but is far enough away, like maybe a good 200 feet away from the warehouse. If I am not back within the next 10 minutes, please retrieve my body.
Okay.
Wait.
Gone.
Wait. Hey.
At the speed that you travel, basically faster than sound. You don't hear any of this. You're just gone. And you can communicate by communicator to Echo, no problem, but you are making your way off towards a more desolate part of this crawler.
And since that happens in 6 seconds,
Where are you going?
not desolate. I said with a lot of people.
Okay.
Echo would probably like turn a corner and just like be in a bit more of a private alleyway so that there's at least like public there.
Okay.
But
Right outside the door, there's a whole area where you saw like a Vest tattoo parlor, and at this time at night, there's people gathered around outside there, mostly Vest. But there are people here, and so you're not alone.
Echo would probably just be like leaning up against the dumpster next to the tattoo parlor.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
computers check to try and disable whatever is like,
Okay,
attached
yeah,
to
make a
this
computer
thing.
check.
Nice. Nice.
36.
This is hard for you, unexpectedly so, and part of it is this arcane component. But at the very end, and it's what you disable is a tracking kind of bug.
Nice.
The magical component would have made it cling to you, not just your communicator. It would have been integrated into your systems, and you're recognizing this is not dissimilar to what had happened to Shade previously. It would have been pretty unpleasant and pretty lasting, whatever it was, but you disable it.
Nice.
You want to open this message?
Now that I
They're
know
the
that
problem.
everything's cleaned off of it, yeah,
Watch, it just says get back.
it probably does.
Yeah.
You open up this message, and you can almost read it in William's voice because that's who it's from. And it says,
Get pwned, noob.
"Hey, Echo, I hear you're in town. And I also hear we might have business that would be interesting to you. Hear you're looking for friends, family, and people like that. And I know where they are." And that's all. There's no instructions. There is no follow-up, but you get the sense that William will be finding you at some point.
Echo does the bounce back.
Okay. No problem.
Cool. And goes back.
Is it within the amount of time before I
Yeah,
need to go
easily.
make sure?
Easily.
How,
Just a couple
we
minutes.
have to shake down William the Pleaser for the Echo fucking units.
And also your talisman.
I don't even care about that anymore.
Okay.
I have 2 out of like 7, I think.
It's not enough to not die.
Well, I bet if William the Pleaser probably has one.
That's
Probably has another one.
That's what we were
I feel like that's a-
He has 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we shake him down, then we have a common enemy, I think.
You?
Echo. So-
Yeah, Spice just like, shit.
Thank you for waiting.
Is everything alright?
I received a communication that had a virus embedded in it. I did not wish for it to be disastrous to the team. I have safely eliminated it from a distance.
From William the Pleaser.
I do not know.
Did you just lie?
Yes.
Yes. you don't know that.
No, I don't.
Do I have to like sense motive this?
Yeah.
You guess, yeah.
Oh, you're dead, Shane.
I mean,
Bubbles will pick up
Yeah.
and hear probably.
uh,
How far are we away? Can I just hear?
It's in the
Your,
warehouse.
your ears are ringing.
I would just hear the. I would just hear the words William
11.
Pleaser, and that's it.
I rolled an 18 on the die.
it could be William the Pleaser or this other group that has attempted to contact me. This much is very concerning, given the amount of time before the race.
It was to be expected.
Not-
After all, if we had used our time better, we would have attempted to sabotage other teams. Maybe not Spice. Spice wanted to practice with them.
Practice.
Oh my god.
I have very little confidence that we'll be able to accomplish this mission.
Do you ever have confidence that we will be able to accomplish a mission?
Pretty.
This is different.
In what way? Because you feel that you are compromised.
Perhaps. There's too much uncertainty, even now. More so than ever. Not just with myself, but with the entire team. There are many forces at work here that we do not understand or even are aware of.
I hate to tell you this, but that is how things are, and have always been. Lest you forget, we went on a beach vacation, and ended up on the run, and infiltrating a scientific facility, where we discovered a maze that lay in wait for us, with terrifying mutant humans, and giant frog creatures. Every time we go to a mission, there is something unexpected.
Who's here for this conversation?
They're up and having sex.
The two of you
No,
make-
we are post nut clarity. That's already so Spice like has. There's no door, but her
There's
like.
no
No,
door.
certainly not.
I
Confirmed,
imagine
no door.
Spice is like with sheets. There's no sheets.
It's a crate.
Yeah, it like
Some
listening
used
really
fucking
hard on the
Vivo
edge of the
sticks.
crate.
Okay.
Your very first mission. Which I remind you, you were not the captain then. And there have been other missions where you have been captain and have achieved similar results. But anyway, your very first mission resulted in an entire way station being devoured by some unknown object that we have since seen recurring. So I do not believe that ever we have known what is fully going on. Everything is unknown.
Make an insight check. All three of you.
Motive?
Sense motive. Sorry. Thank you.
I'm also listening.
Are you?
Make an insight check to get -6
Oh my
condition
god, I
modifier.
literally rolled so bad. It wasn't a 1.
Shay's just never gonna roll good on.
What do you mean
sense motive.
insight?
Sense motive.
Okay, I was gonna say. Oh, I get extra to that. It's not gonna help, but
4.
basically.
What'd you
5.
15.
Okay.
I got an 18. Mine's
32.
yeah. Okay, Echo fucking gets it.
Echo, as you're talking, you almost
Echo has the
fade
wisdom of the ages.
into yourself, and you can hear the words coming out of your mouth, but something does strike you. Yeah, absolutely. First of all, that happened. That may be a little bit less expected than other things. But for this group, almost certainly, there has been coincidences that have seemed to always come up. Even on a beach vacation, you couldn't escape these things that seem to always be attached to people. And here on the Zen Crawler, a place that is essentially home to you, the stuff that anchors you here is in space at the moment, and you found a lot of connections to other people here. You were amongst the Yosoki, and you found this person that was very much connected to Bubbles, who Bubbles had actually thought lost for a long time. And so there is this kind of continual colliding that's happening. With the 32, there's something very meaningful to that perhaps deserves a little bit more explanation, or perhaps bears a little bit more looking into. But all at once you wonder about the fact that you were added a little bit late to this party, and where does that have you fitting in?
Nothing anchors Echo. It's all in space.
If you say so. But with the 32, you're almost confident that that's not true.
Kara knows, but Olive doesn't. How do you know?
I mean, I know everything.
How would you? The
Yeah,
master
how
of
do you
this
know?
world know?
So you see, this is no different than any other mission. We will attempt our best. We will come close to death. We might even say hello to it. And then we will come back. And we will... How does Spice put it? We will fuck shit up. As usual. In every way. And then we will go home.
I cannot believe that.
You must.
Something is different.
It is not. You just know more now.
It doesn't feel that way. The more that I've found, the less I seem to know.
And that just means you are becoming more aware.
It is difficult for me to describe. Being here, finding out what I have found, I am losing any sense of self that I once had. What happened on Oris Bay, previous missions, it all seems to blur together.
We do not have much time before the first race. If you would like more answers, perhaps another therapy session with Spice is in order. If you can break her away from whatever terrible...
Echo!
Oh my god.
You know, sometimes I try to help everyone. Other times I would just like to murder everyone.
Nako, one thing, just because it is fresh in your mind lately, as you tell Shade, if he wants more answers, if you really wanted to get more answers for Shade, somebody just reach out to you who could probably get them.
My concerns don't matter. The only reason I bring them up is because I fear that they will impact the capability of completing this mission efficiently.
You have not given me an official job title. Do not currently have any rank within the crew. I am just a crew member. Permission to speak freely.
Of course.
Get your shit together.
Ouch! Ooh!
And I mean this with the utmost sincerity. You are capable. You have good advice. Everyone needs a little bit more levity with themselves. Echo's eyes track up to Spice, sometimes a little too much.
She like hides under the edge of the container.
I recommend that you do speak with Spice before this night is over.
Yeah, Echo! You hear at the end, at the edge of the... I'm imagining there's like a mezzanine or whatever, and I was just
At the
cheering
very
down.
least, it would maybe help you separate out some things in your mind. Or allow you to find harmony.
I believe that's part of the issue. Right now, knowing I am incomplete. There are elements of myself I do not have access to. It is very difficult to exist without this sense of self. To feel fragmented in this way, it is disorienting. At one moment, to be present with the crew, suddenly to feel sensations, thoughts, memories that are mine but still hard to decipher, likely from one of the missing memory cores. However, it is difficult to process even with the modifications I've made.
I believe this is where I have a limitation. You and I are built very differently. I believe just our voice modulators should be evidence of that. What do you need?
Echo, how would you describe loneliness?
Echo is like just trying to find words.
It is difficult to describe. I have not had communication from the rest of my batch in some time. I will never see them again, most likely. And if I do see them, they will be weaponized and most likely will murder me. That is probably loneliness. But also, there is something that helps to step into that gap in the meantime. Until I am horribly killed.
And what is that?
Normally, I would have a nice fuzzy moment to say, the team, the director, has nicely filled in for that. I just had a very unpleasant 5-minute session of lovemaking, overplay, a particularly scary interaction with someone called the Other.
It was actually only 2 minutes 36 seconds.
I was being generous as they are listening.
Ouch.
Oh my god. That was the hardest bird I think I've ever gotten this entire session.
Great.
Oh my god.
Bubbles, how does it feel to die out of combat?
Holy shit. Wow. That whoa. Oh, ego death.
I'm a good boy. Why would you say that to me? I'm the nicest.
Actually, I hear nice guys finish last. I don't know, man.
Oh god. Apparently they finished first. Holy shit.
Woo.
I'm hurt by
Because
that.
the foreplay is just so long for Bubbles.
Yes.
Just blends right in.
Damn.
He already has protection on.
Oh no. Anyways.
Anyways. The team tries. And does nicely to fill in the gap at the moment. It does not perfectly fit, and it will never perfectly fit.
It is still difficult for me, personally. I appreciate the sentiment, however, there is nothing in which to fit any of it. As I said, the missing memory cores are a likely cause, but there is something more that I cannot describe. Not knowing who or what I am, to conceptualize the ego, I, myself, each day becomes more and more difficult.
Again, I think you are talking to the wrong person. I appreciate you confiding in me, but I cannot give you the help you seek.
You do help in ways that you may not understand, but I do appreciate your perspective. I will attempt to speak with Spice, although she is not especially pleased with me, generally.
I just don't like it when you call yourself captain in front of me, alright?
In your periphery this whole time, Spice has like slowly been getting more and more out of the crate again, and so like every now and then just outbursts. But
As Spice says, I can like push her down. In the
Yeah.
crate.
Spice, how long have you been listening?
Only since like the whole time.
Will you help me?
It didn't go well the first time because I couldn't reach into your mind 3-face, but I'll try again.
It was incredibly helpful for me.
Okay.
Without knowing that, I would have been lost. Even more so now. Knowing that there are elements missing, I can attempt to piece together those missing parts.
I'm gonna give you an option then. We could do it before we play Lockout, which is definitely gonna be triggering for you, or we could do it after, which...
There may not be an after.
Oh, please, I hate it when you talk like that. There's gonna be an after.
The reality of the situation is that we are vastly underprepared.
Okay, so we'll do it before. Alright, you only have to say it.
Please help me.
Aye aye. And then she doesn't put clothes on. Walks down the stairs.
Okay.
Sits...
There's like little Tetris sticks like attached in from the packaging, like
yeah,
stuck on
literally,
from
yeah, like
perspiration.
sweaty. And then she like sits down cross-legged and just like does the gesture for Shade to sit down. And then she also does it for Echo too.
Bubba's gonna come running with clothes for Spice.
Okay.
Are you gonna try to protect her modesty? You have your fucking dongs hanging out, dude.
It's probably like 2 inches since the only lash. It's like 2.5 minutes.
An inch a minute? That's not how it works.
That's how Spice thinks it works. She's not well equipped.
Spice is
that's
also
just-
not really well versed in imperial
what she does.
measurements. So
No,
she just
definitely
assumes
not.
2 inches is
It's
like...
different. Yeah.
2 inches.
Yeah, she's
Well,
like
Shunta
2
inches are much bigger.
Yeah.
God.
To be fair, Bubba thought you were gonna eat his head after the first time we had sex.
He's like, this is the mating ritual. Anyway.
We've all seen the Lashunta fist bump.
Oh, shit, you're right. Yeah.
Cultural differences.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm sitting in your lap.
No! We do the forehead thing, dang it.
Oh,
You to fade to black. I mean, what's going
Yeah,
on?
no.
Cross-legged on the floor.
Yeah, and you
We're at the
face me.
campfire.
Yeah, I sit down.
Okay, and Spice is like clearly you and I have been on better terms. But like I said the first time, I need you to fully trust me if I'm gonna go. Because we already know there's 3 minds in there. And I need you to fully be okay with me. It's not just anybody, it's me and you know me walking into your mind.
Spice,
Are you okay with that?
You are one of 5 people that I trust.
Can we just back up a second? You don't make me feel like that. You make me feel like I am the enemy of you. So I just need you to tell me I'm not your enemy, and that's how I'll go into your mind.
I am not your enemy, Spice.
Okay?
I am your teammate.
Okay?
I would like to be your friend.
Okay?
I rely on you as much as I rely on Echo, Gibbs, and Bubs.
Okay.
Part of the reason is because I do not know who else I could call on. Gleepo, I have no idea who that is. But they know me.
Spice nods.
Everyone that I have interacted with seems to know more about me than myself.
Okay?
Do you understand how difficult it is?
I don't think I do, but it's because I am so sure of who I am, and clearly you have 3 people in you that don't know who they are, but I am hoping that my confidence will carry over once I touch you. Okay, and so Spice, she got verbal consent, she puts her forehead to his forehead, and she's going to try to do a deep dive into his mind and hope that I roll higher.
So go ahead. Make a Make a sense motive check and take a plus 10 conditional modifier.
Damn.
Let's get it. Please be good. Please be good.
Oh! Look at that!
What is it?
Not a natural 20, but pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close. Okay, this is gonna be so much.
Damn. All right, I got my got my typing.
I was gonna say, everyone get your fingies ready. I did not enjoy saying that. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
That sounds like something that's spicy.
Actually, it's not. So my sense motive. Okay, it's only a 32. Actually, at the end of the day, it's still.
With the plus 10?
Wait, no, 42. Sorry.
That's pretty fucking good.
So you go into Shade's mind. You touch his forehead with yours, and almost instantly, it's like you are pulled into this dark space. And in the same way as you did before, you can feel that there are these openings, and you can feel with that check, not just feel, you smell something in this space. A memory from Shade that is powerful. It is caked in pain and the bright lights of a horrible memory that is almost repressed away. And that really draws you towards it. But it's not the light or the pain, it's that smell. Yeah. And it's because it is a very distinct smell of, it's expensive, it is refined, and you associate it with no other person than your mother.
What?
And so that almost immediately draws you towards. And this seems to be coming from the sort of middle space amongst these three. Did you go towards it?
Of course. Yeah.
You reach out and almost instinctively touch this point of darkness between the other two, and it's like as you do, in front of you, this gauzy fabric just parts, and you can see, and you're recognizing now, you're seeing the way that Shade does. There's an electronic component to it. It's crackling, and the lens itself seems broken. And you can see a figure, and you can see your mom.
No!
And they're looking down at Shade, and you recognize that there are lights overhead that would indicate this is maybe a medical facility. But with that check, I would say not just a medical facility. You see very, very similar markings within the lighting fixtures and the furniture as a facility that you had been in on Aura's Bay. You can see very similar kind of furnishings to that in the background, but it's blurry and really you can barely focus. The only reason that you know that this is your mom beyond a shadow of a doubt is a voice. And as it comes out, you can hear crackling through years of memories. This is younger. This is younger than you've ever heard the voice. And so this is sometime in the past. You can hear, she says, "Really? This thing? This is what you're going to create your prototype of?" And you hear another voice. You don't see a face that is attaching to it, but you hear similar to what you had heard previously, not a lot different. "We have other prototypes as well, but this is the one that is the most advanced." And you'd heard Jade Brunei previously, like a long time back, but this almost exactly the same. This has not changed much at all. And in this moment, there is a third presence that you can feel kind of on the side. And in the perspective of Shade, you feel the head trying to turn to look, but there is just grinding elements. There is like a burning sensation. There is damage that is so profound on the right side of their body. It is impossible to really move. And because it is 9:50...
Oh my god!
This is where we're going to end for the evening.
Damn.
But within this space, with that high of a roll, you do get the sense that on the very bottom of this, in whatever electronic view that you are seeing the simple words iteration 3. And we'll start next week with the final words that you hear in that little memory.
Oh!
Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Starfinder.
Laura! Holy this shit!
We'll be back next week on Thursday for more Starfinder. But if you can't wait that long, tomorrow we're going to be having some D&D at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is just going to be some lighthearted shenanigans with the Wandering Hearts. I
We're
believe.
gonna have a fun time.
What was that?
We're gonna have a fun time.
Yeah, it was a fun time. We're going to see what figures await beyond the tunnel that has just opened up, going into what at one point was the Enclave, and perhaps still is.
Yeah.
But if you can't wait that long, you just kind of have to. Tomorrow night's just a day
You
away.
can go
We'll
on
see
to
you
our
then.
YouTube and watch a bunch of the old
I'm
stuff.
That's
literally
also true.
shaking right
Literally
now.
can. We'll see you next week.
Oh my god. See you, space boyfriend. I think. I don't